Remember been in them blocks, I had to go hide from the jakes. I gotta make right decisions, everyone gon' make mistakes. How you gon' take from your brother and turn a smile in his face? Gang. You tryna get out of character, get put right in your place. It's hard to be clean forever, everyone gon' make mistakes. And if the cops pull me over, it might just turn to a chase. Thought you was my bro, you ain't ride like you said you was. I might just do the race and self-drive in a Tesla. Now I got a gun, cause he say he ain't a wrestler. You said that you a shooter, well I guess I'ma keep testing you. I'm only beefing by money, I'm like a cash cow. I see they peeping, I'm coming up and they ask how. She wanna party with me and bro got her ass out. I told her if she keep popping Xannies, then she gon' pass. I just wanna win, dreams of all of buttering, but I'm addicted to the streets, so I know that I'm a sin. If I die, my life start over, I'ma do this shit again. Swimming with the sharks, you a fish cut off your fin. Couple niggas locked, might not see daylight again. I got a couple niggas dead, mama burying the kin. Pull up 50 shots, I'ma only give them 10. Pass me the rock, shoot at the buzzer, I'ma win. Started pouring Remy cause I'm getting sick of hints. If I write a book about my life, don't know where I begin. Couple L's thrown at me, I took them on the chin. Used to see me taking losses, they surprised a nigga win. The longer I live, I'ma lose myself. And if I had choose me or you, then I'ma choose myself. A higher power in mind is worth me more than wealth. Hit a couple licks on your brody, I gotta use my stuff. Foreign belt wrapped around my jeans, it's hard to hold my pants up. We gon' have to let some tops off, I can't get my bands up. Before I tell, I'd rather die though, I can't get my mans up. Go ahead and try to pull it, hope your shit don't jam up. Remember been in them blocks, I had to go hide from the jakes. I gotta make right decisions, everyone gon' make mistakes. How you gon' take from your brother and turn a smile in his face? Gang. You tryna get out of character, get put right in your place. It's hard to be clean forever, everyone gon' make mistakes. And if the cops pull me over, it might just turn to a chase.
Yes, morning, good afternoon, 5 minutes till midday, but yeah, good afternoon, we'll say afternoon. Afternoon, everyone, I hope you are well. Big up, Shorty. Crumbling past. Yeah, I hope everyone's well today. Shorty, Paranormal X channel. Then we've got John Smith. Big up John Smith, man. I hope you're well. John Tracy, Tim Smith, man, in the house. Big G, yes, bro. I know you typed in the chat last night when I first set this up, but I did reschedule it. Because it was getting late. Cool Hedgehog, what's going on, man? What's going on? Hope everybody is well. So, yeah, obviously, I thought we'd talk a little bit about Phillips Scope Field, man. Phillips Scope Field and the ITV scandal. I believe, me personally, I think this is the biggest TV scandal since Jimmy Savile and the BBC. And that was some years ago now. So it's never really stopped, has it? These type of people that we have in, it's ridiculous, you know. So, but yeah, obviously Phillips Scope Field, obviously, as you're aware, is a high-profile figure in the journalism industry. And obviously, he's recently been embroiled in a scandal involving his work with the ITV. It has been reported, obviously, that Scope Field was involved in a series of unethical activities that caused significant damage to the reputation of what you could. We're not all going to agree here, but we'll just say it for what it's put out as, and that's that it is one of the UK's leading broadcast networks at the end of the day. So that's that. At the centre of the controversy in Scope Field, alleged involvement in sexual harassment of a young employee at ITV it has been reported that he abused his position of power to engage in inappropriate behaviour with a young man who has since made a complaint to the ITV's Human Resources Department. Many industry insiders have expressed their shock at the allegations, given Scopefield's reputation as a respected journalist and commentator. However, the scandal has now shone a light on the dark underbelly of the media industry and raised serious questions about the conduct of those in positions of power. I think that's fair to say. ITV clearly has said that they responded to the scandal by launching an independent investigation into the allegations made against Scopefield, although it's not them that needs to do the investigating. If you ask me, someone needs to be investigating ITV. In a statement, they were meant to have said that the network has pledged to take a zero-tolerance approach to all forms of unethical behaviour and to hold those responsible to account. The scandal involving Phillips Scope Field and ITV has raised important questions about the role of the media in society and the responsibility of those working within it. It serves as a timely reminder of the need for transparency, integrity, and accountability within the industry, and of the importance of maintaining the highest standards of ethics and professionalism at all times, which is what we would expect from people in those kind of positions, right? I think we can agree. I think most people will agree. So what I'm going to do is I've got Mellows backstage. Me and Mellows were looking over some videos yesterday, obviously, because I can't reach out to every Tom, Dick and Harry to get permission to play their videos. What we're going to do is put an overlay over, and I just want you to listen to the audio of a couple of interviews. So Eamon Holmes actually does a interview. I'm going to see if I can find any of these. Oh dear. Get rid of that. Don't need that. Bear with me 2 seconds. Hope everyone's well, though. Hang on. Let me bring Mellows on first. Yes, Mellows. How are you, buddy?
Good afternoon, mate.
You good?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm good. I'm just
good.
sitting there preparing.
Good. So,
420.
Yeah, 420, man. 420 it up. We're obviously, because I spoke to you yesterday, that I was watching a few videos, getting a bit riled by the things that I was hearing and watching. So yeah, let's play a couple of videos. As I say, I'm going to put a banner up so that we can. So there's the banner that we're going to use. Same as the thumbnail that we've used for the live. And now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and find a couple of these videos that I watched yesterday. I know they're here somewhere. All right, so this one is Eamon Holmes exclusive. And it says, I felt used by Phillips Schofield. We were lied to. I'm just going to play this. I want you guys to listen to it. Some of you might have heard it. Some of you might not have. So I've got a problem. I can't find my mouse. And then what I want to do after that, once I've played this and we've had a little speak, I also want to show you something where I believe, and I think Mellows will agree with me here. Mellows actually pointed this out to me before any of this scandal came to light. But I believe, and I'm sure Mellows believes, that David Cameron, when he was Prime Minister of this country, actually knew what was going on and actually sent out a very subtle threat to Phillips Scope Field live on air. And I believe that was 10 years ago. And I'll show that to you after this as well. So we're just going to play this.
Are you playing something?
So some people might be wondering how this came out and how it came to light. And people, even if you don't watch telly, most people will know or have heard when Phillips Scope Field came out on This Morning as being gay. And it was kind of, he's come out off his own back. He'd already spoke to his family. The family had known. Everyone knew. Now it was time to let the public know. Well, there was a little bit more to that. And I guess one of the things to ask yourself is, why on earth would any man, regardless of whether he's a presenter of one of the most well-known morning shows in Britain, why on earth would a man have to come on and make it publicly known that he's actually gay? There's no reason to do that. That's his private life. And to be honest, as far as I see it at the time when it happened, there was no reason why a man would go on, make such a big deal out of the fact that he was actually gay and had been living a secret life. That wasn't something I'd think that needed to be aired. Well, this is the real reason. Yeah.
That video that you played, it, or no one heard the audio.
No one heard the audio?
No.
Okay, bear with me. Start again.
Let's get on to the Queen.
Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
Well, indeed. They were there.
Can they hear that? I do apologise, people. Can you hear that now? Obviously, I've just paused it to see. Travis says yes. Right, I'm going to carry on playing it. All right.
They were there to film on the Queen's funeral. Have you seen the film?
There was no film, was there?
Well, apparently they were there.
There was
were
no
there
camera
to make that. Well, they were there. That's the official line given by the editor of the program, that they were there to make a film. Now, unless there's any documentary evidence of this, I would put it to you, that is another lie. So Phillips Scope Field admits he lies. ITV lie. The place is a den of iniquity, an absolute den of iniquity.
Which brings us to that night at the National Television Awards.
So that's where I stopped it before I started talking again, guys. So as I was saying, I believe nobody would need to go publicly in the way it was done to let everyone know that they are actually gay and they were living some secret life for all these years. None of our business, right? I mean, some would say, yeah, you're in the public domain, so it is. But certain things I believe that people have a right to keep private. That is one of them. I don't think it needed to come out in the way it did. So I kind of see it as a little bit strange. Well, clearly there was more to it. And this is why, and this is what led up to it, maybe a few days before.
Where everything changed. And I was there that night. I saw a lot of what went on. And I heard a lot of what went on. And the young colleague, who clearly got very drunk and confronted Philip, Holly, various executives speaking about what had gone on. And then lo and behold, Eamon, just a few days later, you're asked out of the blue, confronted, ambushed, you might say, to reveal that Philip was going to come out as gay. So what happened that night at the National Television Awards from your perspective, and how did it lead on to Philip coming out?
Well, there's a couple of things I'd like to say. First of all, the National Television Awards, there is this event which you've got to understand this morning, under the guise of Philip and Holly, is a very false existence. FAF, I won't tell you what those initials stand for.
We're after the watershed, I can work it out.
But the first word is false. And the second word is as. You can leave it to the third word. They are then allowed to turn up the next day advocating the use of drink or something else, I don't know, and sit on a couch. I'm so drunk, I haven't been to bed. Oh, I haven't been to bed either. I'm drunk, whatever. And yet...
So just here, Eamon's going to give you a quick rundown on some more unethical behaviour, but unethical behaviour that was clearly allowed by the hierarchy of the ITV.
ITV, this at a time, the legacy of Ant McPartland, lovely fellow, who was in a driving accident where people were injured and he was under the influence of drink. And yet they can promote that. Ruth and I are prevented from advertising chocolate in an advert because it is a poisonous product. It would be poisonous. To advertise chocolate is poisonous.
Did you say so, Mellows, bro?
I'm laughing at the fact that they didn't want him to advertise chocolate because it was poisonous. It's funny.
Crazy, right? Absolute crazy. After, like you said, they've kind of advocated for drinking alcohol, coming into work the following morning still drunk, to which that could cause many implications along the way, and so yeah, I find it quite funny as well.
Yes. And you're not going to be allowed to do
it.
In
my world, it's called hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy at its finest. Oh, and we'll show some more of that. We'll show some more of that in a minute.
So you would look, and as freelancers, we're all freelancers and we've got to earn our living. People think we're guaranteed a living forever and whatever. So Holly and Philip, he can sell cars, she can sell whatever she wants, but she's worried about not being able to sell anything now because her image may well be damaged because she's associated with Philip now. But these are rules for one and rules for the other. Does that make me bitter? Maybe it does. Maybe it does make me bitter. But so they come in doing their drunk act the next day. So it's either an act, in which case it's false, or they are drunk, in which case it should not be allowed.
Well, because just a few days later, you are called, I believe, very early on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
You had no notice of this.
No.
You were due to be presenting a normal show, and then you're called and told what?
Right, so I'm driving in. Philip will be arriving in to appear on the program today. Why? We can't tell you. We can't tell. We hosted today. Holly will be coming in as well. You will be hosting bits of the program, but they have got something to say. I'm thinking, oh, good. Hopefully he's going. Hurrah.
So just going to stop and start just to make sure this is all fair usage. But obviously, as you can hear there, it doesn't look like a lot of people that were working at ITV actually got on with, liked Phillips Scope Field too much, actually.
But it wasn't to be, because even you can't shame him enough. So anyway, he comes into our dressing room and he falls down on his knees. I mean, the acting is amazing. He falls down on his knees crying. And I said to him, what's the matter? What's the matter? I'm gay. I'm gay. And I walked over and I said, is that all? Well, what is this? What is? I thought he'd killed a child or something. And I stood him up, I pulled him up, and I said, what are you talking about? What so you're gay? And that tied into a lot of things that, you may have heard. And I think anybody to be imprisoned in a life that isn't true to them would be totally wrong.
Yeah.
And we were very supportive, and Ruth hugged him, and we said, look, we'll stand by you. It's all okay. I mean, it wouldn't enter our minds that the man would have been discriminated against for being gay. So we were very, very supportive of that.
Do you feel you were used?
Oh boy, were we used? We went to the studio and Miss Holly took over with a pre-prepared statement.
Right, I just want to pause it there as well, because I know nobody probably in here is that naive, but you have these morning shows, these morning breakfast shows, and look at the way they're all set up. They have the same kind of presenters on, friendly faces, get you to come in every morning, watch their program. You start to feel like you know the presenters, and it all feels quite natural. Some of it, right? It's put out in a way where it looks natural. It's not really live TV, right? That's what you're always told. This is live TV. There's no rehearsals. This is straight off the bat. Well, this bit here that he's about to talk about now is just how fake Holly and Phil really are. And there's a few other video clips along the way when we play this live that I want to show as well. But you're going to say something.
Quick comment.
Go on, mate.
Yeah, it's John Tracy, I think, said in the chat that kid was groomed. The truth is, ITV and the BBC have groomed tens of thousands of children, up and down the country. They're grooming children as we speak, grooming some of your children, maybe, right? These people are the epitome of evil, especially the people that run it. They're a propaganda machine. They're an evil abomination of what it was meant to be. It's nothing like what it was supposed to be. They should be defunded immediately and investigated, in my opinion. Run them through the fucking the rake right through the everything. I mean, the ITV is a private company, but it largely depends on public funding. I'm not sure if most people realize that. We support and fund the ITV just as much as we pay for BBC and all the rest of them. Channel 4, Channel 5. They're fucking publicly funded, most of them.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you explain that? Because a lot of people seem to think that there's that rule that because you only pay a TV license because BBC don't give adverts, right? So people think that the BBC is the one that's publicly funded. As for the ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, people are under this illusion that because they've got adverts and things like that, and that we don't pay for them as such.
Read your TV license. It says live broadcasting, right? That includes ITV, live broadcasting.
What I'm saying is most people think that ITV and stuff are private, and that
No.
we,
I mean, all the studios, all the camera equipment, all the staff, the editors, the camera guys, the studios, everything, pretty much ITV use. Right. They rent it from the BBC. So, there you go. Pretty much everything, the whole infrastructure, the ITV are just nothing but administrators, and everything they use belongs to the BBC, which is publicly owned. All the studios, the camera guys, the editors, the whole lot, the fucking makeup artists, the luncheon menu, the whole lot, man. Wake the fuck up. You know what I mean? These people are milking the system. And they have been for a long time. They're grooming children, not just this little one kid here. They've been grooming children for decades. Up and down, as we speak, up and down the country. Kids are going missing by the droves and nobody's bothering to look for them. The media, these people that we're supposed to rely on to speak truth to power, to hold these officials accountable. They're not holding them accountable. I wonder why, because they're busy fucking grooming the kids themselves, right? I mean, why would they want the police to investigate them? So there you go.
I'll carry on playing this. I don't think there's much left. And then, yeah.
Miss Holly's supposed to be dyslexic. She read this very, very well. Read this incredibly long statement very, very well. And so they knew in advance. They're with the same agents as we are. We're not informed of this in advance, so we're taken for fools. So we get there, and Ruth is constantly asked by Emma Gormley, the director of Daytime, and Martin Frizzell, the editor of the program, right, do you want us to write something for you? Do you want a script? Do you want to say this? Do you want to say, what are you going to say? Are you sure? Are you sure about what you're going to say? So we then began to feel there was a certain line being pattered here. We said, no, I know what I'm going to say. Us believing the truth is that Philip is revealing he's gay and coming out. And Ruth ad-libs without any autocue or anything else. I just decided at this point, not sure. I'm just beginning to feel bad vibes about this. I'm not saying anything. So I don't say anything in the opener. Ruth says what she has to say. Then it goes to those two in their choreographed way, knowing how false they are. I'm sure they've rehearsed it for days as to what they were going to say and do and who was going to hug. And Holly was very specific about where she sat, where Philip sat, where Ruth sat, where I sat. It was all choreographed, right? Then we notice the Sun newspaper's here. So the story was sold to the Sun newspaper. The director of programs, Kevin Ligo, was there from ITV. The director of Daytime, Emma Gormley, was there. Martin Frizzell was there, the editor. The agents, James Grant YMU, were there for all of this. And we began to feel this is not our show at all.
So this has been planned for some time.
It's been planned for some time. And it then materializes, obviously, all is not what it seems. Because he has obviously done a deal with the newspaper to give a version of what the newspaper knew. And it was all a bit weird.
Yeah.
At that stage, though, I believed he was gay and that's what he was coming out. And that was the information we were given. We were lied to. And Ruth and I, to this day, are embarrassed and ashamed when we see those pictures, when we see the toils that some people who are tortured by their sexuality have to go through. And this man, was this a cover-up for something else? And something else which does not reflect well on him, of course, bearing in mind his brother is now a convicted paedophile as well. So we feel angry. We feel angry about that. We feel used.
Just finally, there seems to be a real political element to all of this because Phillips Scope Field was
Lost the audio.
No, we haven't. I've just paused it. Sorry. So again, now what we're going to do, not that we didn't already know this, right? But you're going to say, well, duh, of course. But when it's somebody that's worked for them and stuff saying it, you know, it comes with a little bit of credibility, right? He now goes on to explain just how the ITV push out a very woke narrative, and anybody that does not fit to that woke narrative is gone. Even if you're Eamon Holmes. Now, there's people in here, again, I don't know if anyone watched telly years ago, but Eamon Holmes is like a veteran within ITV. Yeah? He some of the Good Morning Britain now was once known as GMTV. I believe he presented that for many years. He's done a lot of stuff for ITV, Eamon Holmes. So somebody with so much experience vetting the game, you wouldn't think that he would just be someone that you could kick out the door, right? Well, he's going to explain now just how woke they are.
protected. You went, Jeremy Kyle went, Piers Morgan went, Carol McGiffin went. It feels like if anyone questions...
I'm sorry to stop it again, but he also explains, well, he mentions how Meghan Markle seems to have an influence on ITV.
Carolyn McCall's woke narrative, they're out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd say there's absolutely no question about that. They like a certain order, even if that order is corrupt. Doesn't matter if they're bending the rules or breaking the rules, but as long as they instigate lockdown, then it's their way or the highway. But I mean, none of them are even honest. I mean, McCall never, even though the order came from her to get rid of me through her lackey, Emma Gormley. there's never a reason given. They can't be upfront about it. And there does seem to be a political element. I mean, if, as I was told, and I wasn't found guilty of anything via Ofcom or anyone else, it was through me saying to a reporter saying 5G is perfectly safe. Of course, 5G is perfectly safe. And I said, who says so? He said, well, that's what the government's saying. That's what everybody says. I said, well, you should always be free to question the narrative. Now, apparently that was equivalent to me saying 5G spreads COVID, which I never once said. But I said that you should be able to question the narrative about all things.
Which is the job of a journalist.
Of course it is. Of course it is. You know, they said cigarette smoking was safe. They say alcohol abuse is safe, and then suddenly it's not safe. Oh dear, no, we'll change your mind on this. Could you believe a word that comes out of a lot of these government, you know, what comes out of 10 Downing Street? So if 10 Downing Street got influence on ITV, answer, yes, they had. Had certain advertisers got influence? Yes, they had. They said suddenly we represent 5G, and we're going to withdraw 10 million quid of advertising if you don't get rid of this guy.
And then there was one other person, of course, who had a lot of influence on Carolyn McCall, a certain Ms. Markle, who didn't like the fact that you had criticised her in the past, didn't like the fact that Piers Morgan didn't believe her lies. So she seems to have a lot of influence on woke ITV now.
I think the way of dealing with Carolyn McCall and Meghan Markle and whatever is to laugh at them and to laugh at their wokery. Just laugh. Really say, seriously, because they're humourless. They're all humourless. And I would think now we're at a stage where ITV and their share price, which will have dipped, and money talks, that you've got to look at how she's running the station, what she allows to happen. Kevin Ligo, who stays silent on everything and should not be allowed to, stays out of everything. Oh, nothing to do with me. It's either the big boss woman or it's whoever runs daytime. It's everything to do with you as well. You could intervene if you wanted to. And then the editor of This Morning, who cultivated a huge area whereby anything to indulge Philip and Holly. What Philip and Holly want, Philip and Holly get.
We reached out to ITV for comment on everything Eamon addressed in our interview. They did not respond.
So yeah, there's that interview there.
He, you know, Eamon Holmes, right? Up until just because that's the first time I've listened to that, right? Just from what he said there, right? Huge respect for what he just said. Right? I don't know, you know, up until that moment, up until he got shafted, you know, it's one of those things where you back the blue until it happens to you situations, you know, where he was all backing them until it fucked him up the ass, and now he's spilling the beans. So,
do you think? But I can show more videos, right, where actually it's not just as clear as oh shit, it's come out, so people are talking. People wanted to speak months ago, a long time ago, and the ITV basically put fucking hush money on it. Well, not hush money on everyone, but they threatened them all with legal action. There were people that were ready to run stories. ITV turned around and said, you publish that story, we will fucking sue your ass.
Isn't that the same deal with the Weinstein scandal in America? Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same way it played out over there. It's almost as if it was somebody who was playing a symphony, you know? These things are programmed, man.
So, Mellows, do you want to, because it was you that brought it to my attention, yeah? Yeah, Paranormal Activity. Take care. Thanks for coming in. Big up, David Scaff. Good to see you as well.
You know, I think.
So yeah, do you want to explain 10 years ago about when David Cameron was, and put that into a little bit of context before I play it?
Well, basically the 10 years ago, if I can roll back the time, it was it was a scandal on scandal of paedophiles in Parliament, right? And Schofield tried to, I don't know whether it was leverage or whether he was told to do it, or for whatever his reasons were, he thought he was probably untouchable, and he handed this list of names of known or suspected pedophiles, or known pedophiles that were.
Of course, Susan. Of course.
And Cameron knew at the time, right? Everyone on that list, of course he would. He was a prime minister, right? And then, aside from the fact of what the fuck is the prime minister doing on TV in the morning, right? And he's got other things to do. But he's in the morning, sitting there, our prime minister, sitting there with this prick, right? This paedophile, right? Talking about pedophiles in Parliament, right? And then, he hands him this list, and before he takes that list, and he's telling him, look, don't do this, because, he pretty much threatened him, that, it's going to start a witch hunt, and I'm worried that, people who might be gay might get the brunt of it. So he knew then that this fucking nonce he was sitting next to was fucking a little fucking boy. Do you know what I mean? He was grooming a little boy. He knew it.
Could we say the threat by let's say the subtle threat by David Cameron during that, was very strange, because they were talking about pedophiles, right? Yeah. However, he very quickly flipped it to be about being homosexual.
Yes,
it had nothing to do with what
he said to him. To me, it was like, I know you're fucking the little fucking boy over there, and if you fucking go after this list, you're on that list as well. Basically, I'm just going to expand that list and add you to the list. Basically, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what he said to him in underlying, unsaid fucking spaces between the words. Do you know what I mean? That's what I read.
So I'm actually going to play this now. It has been edited a little bit, piss take, but it is the clip.
You can play the one without the.
No, I've got it. I've uploaded it to StreamYard, mate. So I'll just play what I've got. Watch this, people. Watch this. It's a very short clip.
As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground and who never would be missed.
Took me about 3 minutes to let this could turn into a sort of witch hunt, particularly against people who are gay.
The blanks I'd rather leave to you. Where do you begin? But it really doesn't matter whom you put upon the list, for that none of them be missed, that none of them be missed. You may put them on the list, you may put them on the list, but none of them be missed, let none of them be missed.
Never got nicked. Never got nicked.
Exactly. Put him on the
so
list.
You see it there, people. He was talking about a list of offenders within Parliament, and he wanted him to take that risk. And as you see him say, the people on this list, and very quickly, David Cameron starts talking about how this could be seen as some kind of witch hunt on gay people, which had nothing to do with the point that was being made. And that was 10 years ago, people. 10 years ago. David Cameron as Prime Minister. Ask yourself, did he not know anything? Was that not a subtle threat?
I was still trying to work out what the fuck he's doing on a morning TV show. Isn't he fucking busy running the country?
Where does that happen? Come on, Mello. When does that happen?
When the fuck has he got time? Supposedly, he's running a country, right? What the fuck is he doing on a TV show for a start? Before we get to lists and pedophiles in Parliament, right? Fucking what the fuck are you doing on TV show in the morning? On a talk show? The fuck are you doing, bro? You're prime fucking minister and you're sitting there chatting about fucking protecting your friends on a TV show. Right? Let's have it how it is. 10 years ago, you knew that you were sitting next to a paedophile, right? And you told him to stop what he was doing, otherwise he's going to get on that list.
That's pretty much what I take from that.
That's what I heard.
That's what I take from that. Yeah, that's what I took from that. I'm trying to see if I can find. So, again, if we just pop this up. Again, people might have seen these clips, but it's all, I think it's all relevant, so. We shall play it. Bear with me. Just going to play this one.
Friend is speaking out after he was fired from ITV's hit show this morning. Matthew McGreevy first met Philip when he was 10 years old at his group, after which Philip quickly became Matthew's mentor.
So there we are. First met this lad when he was 10 years old. There is a picture of them.
Or who guided him through the entertainment industry. When he was 15, Philip started publicly following Matthew on Twitter, which Matthew thanked him for. Shortly thereafter, Matthew became a T-boy at This Morning and did lots of segments with both Philip and Holly, and he was very popular with viewers.
Philip, thank you so much.
I'll see you in 3 years.
See you in 3 years. Wonder what we'll both be doing then.
Well, if I'm still getting away with it, I'll be a happy man.
Great.
You hear that? So the guy sat on a couch with him. I wonder where we'll be then. Phillips Scope Field's response: if I'm still getting away with it, I'll be a happy man. Now, that isn't the only time that these two are seen on screen, and Phillips Scope Field quotes those exact same words.
Amazing. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Wow, I mean, that was very good, actually.
However, people at ITV thought it was strange how this young man got such a high-profile job. They also thought his very close connection with Philip was strange, since Philip was so much older than him. According to former This Morning regular Katie Hopkins, it was This Morning presenter Ruth Langsford who ended up filing a complaint against Philip.
For the longest time, something very strange was going on between Philip and a very young showrunner, so much so that they went out for dinner, and this runner was on all of Philip's shows, and Uncle Philip used to give him some very special attention at quite a young age, at which point Ruth, who also used to be on the show before she was binned, put in a complaint about certain behaviours that were never then talked about.
Here we have footage of Ruth and her husband Eamon talking to Matthew in a This Morning segment. Ruth's complaint was allegedly so credible that Matthew was indeed fired from This Morning shortly after, but Philip mysteriously kept his job while Ruth was later also dismissed. When Matthew was fired from This Morning, he allegedly became bitter and wanted to tell all to a tabloid for a huge sum of money. He was also allegedly going to admit that the relationship was inappropriate, although it is unknown how old Matthew exactly was when the alleged relationship started. Because of this, Philip decided to get ahead of it and come out after being in the closet for over 30 years.
With the strength and support of my wife and my daughters, I've been coming to terms with the fact that I am gay. And I think it's really important to stress as well that you haven't had your hand forced here at all. This is your decision.
Although it was said that he came out on his own accord, many people started to suggest he did it under duress. Skeptics included legendary actress Joan Collins, who was quickly shut down by Piers Morgan for hinting at the story.
What was the reason that he suddenly felt that he had to go public with this when a lot of people already knew? I mean, we also
there have been
knew.
some rumors of inappropriateness, but they're unsubstantiated.
I mean inappropriateness.
Well,
Now that Philip has been fired, many other unsubstantiated stories are coming out about him. Somebody implied that he has an apartment in Southwark that he has the boys over to, whatever that means. And of course, there is also the recent conviction of his brother, which didn't help Phillips' credibility either. What do you think about ITV firing Phillips Scope Field? Do you think he had too many ongoing scandals to keep him? Or do you think they should have given him a second chance because none of these stories have been proven by higher authorities? Leave your thoughts down below, and thank you for watching.
Building your online business?
So again, you know, and they had this thing, right? They had this thing. Phillips Scope Field had this thing with this lad that on a Thursday they used to call it Playtime Thursday, and they used to go out. They used to share a night together, and this young lad would go back to Phillips Scope Field's property or to his hotel or wherever it was, and the following morning, ITV would book them both taxis on a Friday morning from the same location but separate taxis. And that was paid for by the ITV. The ITV knew it was going on for a long time. They were enabling it.
It's because it's the system that owns ITV is the same system that owns BBC. It's the same system that owns Parliament. See, that's how you control people, right? When you're a puppet master, right? You have to have these people that are easily adaptable, moldable. So you'll pick on people who have these depravities, these secrets, these dark secrets, and then you can pretty much do whatever you want them to do, right? So you'll find that these people are elevated to positions of authority and positions of power over others, and then that way, with them, they become like your little fingers, right? You control multitudes of others, and this is how they control us, right? By controlling those that control the things that we own and control, do and see, and you know.
Yeah.
They're little, you know, this is how they control them. You know, this is why the war on corruption is so important, and nobody realized, you know, how, you know, sickening it is and how long it's been going, and how failure is not an option for us, right? Because they are literally trafficking children and grooming them and doing whatever they want. I mean, Jimmy Savile, you know, it was Jeffrey Epstein, Phillips Scope Field. These people are just the tip of the iceberg, honestly. These are just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine those people behind those people, the people that give those people that power and that wealth. Imagine their dealings that they do behind the shadows that no one can see. Nobody's even heard of their names, half these people, right? Control people who control people who control people. And how do you control them all? You're corrupt as fuck.
Spooky Spoon. I guess it's a case of let's see what else comes out in the long run, right?
No, more's coming. It's just a matter of how much you can take.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You know, it's so I want to play one more video. I've got literally one more thing I want you to listen to. It covers the bits that haven't been mentioned in the other video. It is 3 people as well that all at one stage have experienced being interviewed on This Morning by Philip and Holly. 2 people give accounts of not a very good experience. Then you've got another, I can't remember the female's name, Joanna something, also where she's kind of defending Holly. So I'm going to play that so we can hear like a defending side for Holly, because I want to mention Holly as well. What do people think? What do you people think about Holly, and does anyone think she knew? Did she enable it? Was she also, you know, I'd be interested to know what people's thoughts are. So I'm just going to play this, and then we can even open up the panel if anyone wants to join and have their opinion on it. So just bear with me one last time, people. One last time. Right, I'm just going to bring this on. Bear with me.
TV.
Here we go.
Is coming under increasing pressure. Here's what her former colleague had to say. And
I heard this bit, so I'll skip this. We don't need to hear
We've
this.
seen Schofield's young lover at the 2020 National Television Awards, where this morning, Dan at gbnews.com voted our poll at GB.
Can you remember Henry Bolton? He was once, I believe, the leader of the UKIP party. He's one of the people on here now.
News on Twitter, but let's debate this now with the comedian Francine Lewis, the social commentator Joanna Jaju, and the former UKIP leader Henry Bolton. So look, Francine, let's just be honest. You're not a huge fan of Philip. You've been on the show admitting that before when it wasn't a trendy thing to do. So you were very ahead of your time on that one, Francine. Good on you. But has Holly really done anything wrong? Does she deserve to be dragged down too?
Well, I have to say, I had a bad experience with the two of them. I would call them the gruesome twosome. It wasn't just Philip. I had met Philip in the late 90s. We just did a show called Talking Telephone Numbers together. He was the same then. I mean, he wasn't great with anybody when they came onto the show. As soon as the cameras were on, it was like, hi, you know, with this big smile. So I always found him very smarmy. And actually, when I first met him, I just found he wasn't good with people. And it always made me think, how is this man presenting all these shows? I assumed he has shares in ITV because he was doing all these shows. He's got no charisma and nothing about him that I think is at all watchable. And the same with her. I mean, she walks around with a halo over her head. She's not nice at all. I
Okay,
mean,
so you say she should go?
100% she should go.
Okay,
I mean,
Joanna Jaju disagrees with you. Why, Joanna? Why are you saying that Holly deserves another chance?
Well, I mean, even the phrase deserves another chance for what exactly? Philip has actually admitted that he's lied to everybody. So if he lied to his agents, his employers, his colleagues, his own wife for however many years about his sexuality, then what makes people think that it isn't possible that he also lied to Holly? I think that it's very dangerous to, you know, for people to think that, you know, oh, of course she knew. How do you know? There is absolutely no proof at this point that Holly knew. And actually, if it is a fact that she was another person that Philip lied to, then she doesn't deserve to leave and lose her job.
Fair point, Henry Bolton, isn't it?
I don't think so, no. I also had a very bad experience with the two of them. It wasn't just Philip. I'm not going to go and relive all that, Stan. You know, people can look it up, whatever. But I had a bad experience with them. I found them both very hypocrisitical. Philip particularly.
I believe Henry Bolton
and the thing is, Holly knows that. She was part of that team, part of the hypocrisy there. And Dan, I'm sorry, but if you just walk into that studio with the two of them on that couch, then it's exactly as just been said. Philip walked in, you know, nothing polite, no sort of greeting, no personality there whatsoever, and goes straight in to an attack, which now I know was entirely hypocritical, entirely. Now, I don't believe, being in that environment for a moment, that Holly was not aware of it. Philip might have denied it to her, but she knew what was going on. I believe that. And here's the thing, Dan. Here's the thing, Dan. You know, we some TV stations have built up this idea of building up a star, a celebrity star, and that person has often felt, because of the power and the status they've been given, has been really impregnable. They've felt the power, they've got the status, they can get away with almost anything. They're untouchable. And they feel that. And I think that it's not only about Philip and Holly, Dan. It's about a bigger thing. It's about the power, and it's about what
Francine, you coming?
Yeah,
they're creating a generation of narcissists.
When I walked in and had an interview with them, you know, they don't greet you. I mean, as I said, I've met Philip before. He never said, oh, hello, it's so good to see you again. I mean, these people to me are not stars. I mean, who is Holly Willoughby? She has no empathy. She has no compassion. She has no talent. I could do her job standing on my head.
But people have always loved her, though, haven't they? Joanna Shaju, can I just ask you, though, Joanna? You must admit, having heard from Eamon, that this young man was being ferried in ITV cars after their Thursday playtimes together to the This Morning studios. It's unfathomable to believe that Holly had no idea that there was something going on. I mean, she met him. There they are together.
Well, I think that Holly is in a bit of a unique situation in the sense that she joined. This was basically her big break, wasn't it? This morning, I remember watching Holly as a kid on CITV.
That was more important than
Philip is clearly somebody who is very good at being a master manipulator to everybody around him. And I think very early on, he probably took her under his wing. And she basically believed everything that he probably said. And she defended him to the end, you know. She thanked him in her statement for, you know, his knowledge and his humour, etc., etc. And I do believe that she probably did ask him.
And Henry Bolton, look, I've got to put it to you. It wasn't ITV who got rid of Phillips Scope Field this time around. It was Holly Willoughby. The only reason Philip has gone from that sofa at all is because she finally put her foot down and told the bosses at ITV, I ain't working with that bloke anymore. So doesn't she deserve some credit for that, Henry?
But I think, well, you know, a smidgen, Dan, maybe. But look, this has been going on for a very long time, and she knew she was backed into a corner. She had to act, or the situation was going to run away. She was going to lose control of it. And you know, it's not just Holly here that I would point the finger at. It's that whole culture, the whole culture that has allowed this to happen and has allowed two people, particularly Phillips Scope Field, to be the influence and the role model that they became, and that is a highly negative influence. There are other people in the media, a handful of them, who I would say the same thing about. Bullies, narcissists, and exactly what you don't want as a role model for young people who are watching this. And you know, there's a culture there, and that culture has to be removed. And whoever's involved in it, and I include Holly with that because I don't believe for a moment that she hasn't known for a very long time what's been going on, then I think they need to go. And you know, it's a rotten apple.
Okay, I understand both sides of this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Henry Bolton, Joanna, good Holly this morning. Well, Juniper, right?
Here's a couple of
up to Schofield throughout and deceived the viewers without a second thought, all whilst making millions on the back of a carefully crafted, wholesome image. Holly, the enabler, has to go. Ron writes, no, why should she lose her job because of her colleagues' behaviour? And from Sarah, I think if there were ever a time, it's now for her to speak up. The longer she keeps quiet, the more obvious it looks like she is hiding something. I do feel for her right now, especially as mother of 3 children. I hope she speaks up soon. And of course, Holly's more than welcome to speak up on this show, just like Eamon has done previously. Your verdict is now in. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me, this is tough. 82% of you say that Holly should be axed from ITV, just 18%.
So, yeah, man. While there's dirty, seedy stuff going on in TV still. All these years later.
Everybody knows everybody's business in that business, right? Everyone knows everyone's business. She knew. Of course she fucking knew, right? You're telling me she didn't know. Of course she fucking knew. And she's going to play the dumb blonde routine, right? Nah, I ain't buying that.
Well, I was going to say, I do believe that, you know, because she's female, she can play this, oh, I'm hard done by and I didn't know.
I'm just a dumb blonde and I didn't see it and I didn't know. And I was
female, they're trying to defend us.
And I didn't know because I'm a dumb
blonde. It was her big break, Mello.
Fuck off.
Of course. No, but of course it was. Maybe, you know, it was. But that's just the problem.
Just
she put that before.
Because she kept quiet about it, right? And allowed it to happen for 10 years.
Yep. Long time.
You know, it's not 2 weeks and, you know, maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, 2 weeks, you know, you might not remember something like that, but fucking over every day for them, every day, it's a morning, everyday TV show. You know what? They spent more time together. They were like a married couple, right? You know what? It was the other day I was speaking to some old woman. They thought that she actually thought that the fucking guy was married to Holly Willoughby. No, man. What are you talking about? They're not married, man. You know, because they give off that, you know, they're like a husband and wife routine TV show, don't they? You know, they give that fake, false narrative. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just can't believe.
Of course they knew. Everybody knew. Everyone knows it. Everyone knew, right? The higher ups knew. They paid for it.
Okay, so there's a couple of things, Mellows. One, should This Morning be axed? Two, should ITV themselves now? I don't know. I don't even know. Disappear off into the sunset, like. Because this ain't like 30, 40 years ago, like the Jimmy Savile thing, man. Like, this stuff don't go away. This stuff won't go away.
The problem with the question, right, in my opinion, is you're asking the same people who are in charge of of the same system, the same people that broke the system, you're asking them to fix it, right? So, you know, if you say, you know, we should do this with ITV, and that would mean suggesting that the government, this corrupt government that we have at the moment, right, actually doing their job, right, and doing something about it and setting everybody straight, setting the company right on and punishing it accordingly, right, arresting. Having members, senior members arrested for any complicity or any other crimes that they might be involved in. Audit the shit out of them. Of course, this is a war on corruption, man. And these are the people that are the most corrupt in the whole world, right? So you're asking the fox to audit the fox. You can't. You got to root them all out, root and stem. You got to get rid of the entire fucking crop. It's all corrupt. It's all rotten to the core.
And that's the thing, you know. Big up, Monk. You good, bro?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm fucking buzzing. I finished work early. I'm fucking coming home on the motorway. I looked, I see you was live. I thought, fucking banging. Come on, talking about paedophiles. Just want to smack the fucking bastards up.
You know?
Yeah, man. Oh, it's serious though, man. Because, you know, like a few months down the line, this all tries to get swept under the carpet and things go on. And I don't believe for 1 minute, bro, this is the only case since, you know, the Jimmy Savile scandal. This goes on all the time. The type of people that we're like you heard that female say at the end there. These people aren't stars. They're not like, but that narrative's pushed out that they are. And, you know, and people sit there everyone, oh, Holly, Phil. Nah, these people ain't stars. These people ain't the type of people that actually have even got the type of skills to be in those kind of roles. They don't have any charisma. They don't have any personality, man. They're fucking dry as fuck. And it's all an act. You know, you sit there and get told, oh, it's live telly. Nothing fucking live about it. It's all rehearsed. It's all just the whole thing's fucking corrupt as fuck, man. Same with like
the idea is to spread propaganda, misinformation, and brainwash people and indoctrinate them. That's what the whole fucking system is, right? So they brainwash people. That's what they do. They give a perception. Perception is reality to most people. So they give their perception to people, and people take on board wherever it is that they're perceiving and think that that's reality. But when it's not, it's completely the opposite, right?
So what do you think? So,
allegory, yeah, it's 101, you know.
Because everyone, like, obviously, there's in question that, like, as Phillips Scope Field groomed this young man, right, from an early age. But if that's the case,
surely that's grooming.
Pardon?
Look, here's an example, right? For years,
aren't the
now, right?
ITV still guilty of that then? Because you heard again, all of a sudden, there's this guy, which is like,
Well, didn't Philip get him with ITV in the first place?
yeah, this is what I'm saying. Started following him from the age of 15 on Twitter. Met him at the age of 10. Started by the time he was 15, he was following him on Twitter, which this lad was all buzzing by. You know, and then not long after that, as he's kind of breaking out of school, whatever else his education, he's finding himself a job with ITV as like a runner boy, T boy, if you like. You know, where you heard some of them say that.
You're saying he was with the BBC, right, when he met this kid?
No, he weren't with the BBC. I don't think. No, he got him a job at ITV.
Okay.
Right, and then he's become this T boy. And then people around have started to realize, like, hang on a minute, he's like climbing up the ladder and he's getting like sitting on the sofa of like, you know, that's not his job. Like, you know, the cameraman should probably be on that sofa before he is. Do you know what I mean? You don't ever see a cameraman sat on the sofa. So it was strange. Even they were saying like the NTA awards, the National TV Awards, right?
Just a T-boy.
He was just a T-boy, but there he was up on stage. And no, like, why is he up on stage, man? The only people that are up on stage are usually the main faces of the show, and then like the producers, the editors, the fucking all they'll come up as well, and they'll all have their little speech. The fact that this T-boy, this runner boy, was in the mix of all of that was seen quite strange. You know what I mean? Fucking weird as fuck, man. Really weird.
What like where's the boy's parents in all of this?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, it does, yeah.
They pick on the weak and vulnerable, right? So that's their MO. They usually pick on the weak and vulnerable, and they take them under their wing and groom them, and look after them.
But yeah, like that's just bad. And then like, ITV, man, they must have known what was going on. What Philip just brings in some young lad, says give him a job, and then they're all like going out on Thursday nights with each other and calling it Playtime Thursday, and that's weird, man. There's clips now that come out which you don't obviously notice it at the time, but how many times has he been with that lad on air, and he quotes something like, "If I'm still getting away with it, I'll be a happy man." Like, he's a weird guy. He's a fucking weird guy. Covered up for his brother. Why did he cover up for his brother? Why didn't he speak out about his brother? Yeah, you could say, it's his brother. But me personally, if it was something as serious as that, that would force your hand to have to still shot your own fucking brother in, right?
No, he pushed his brother under.
Of course it would.
But why? Yeah. So why didn't he? He couldn't because he had this all fucking looming over him. That's why.
Mate, if I ever caught any of my children like that, I'd fucking shot them in no show. I'd beat the fuck out of them and shot them, mate. So doing it to my brother wouldn't mean a thing. It's wrong, mate. Yeah, I'd shot anybody. Doesn't matter who they are.
Usually these people who go on to groom and become predators, right? It's usually because they were once groomed and were and abused themselves, right, when they were younger. So I mean, if you go back in time, where
Phillips Scope Field, whoa.
predators, they usually are people who have been victims themselves when they were abused themselves when they were younger. So they sometimes, not all the time.
I was going to say, I was abused when I was younger, man. It made me feel sick. I can't stand
I just replied to what 3 times is saying here. In that Eamon interview where he speaks out about him, he's saying about how they noticed he always seemed to, they didn't know why, but this lad seemed to be vulnerable. He always was going through like a lot of money, always needed money, always short of cash, even though he was, getting a lot of money. So again, that's why I do definitely think that he was being groomed from a young age, man. Yeah, I do think that, like, if other colleagues could sense that he was vulnerable, then surely Philip himself, who was obviously forming some kind of relationship with him, spending nights together, he would have surely recognized that, right?
Of course.
And for me, anyone that, like, even me or you, right, you go out and meet a bird, right? Say you're single, Monk, right? And you go out and meet a bird, right?
Yeah.
Not being funny, if they come across a bit like fucking I don't know. What's the word I could use?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, mate. No, yeah. If they just seemed a bit vulnerable and that, yeah, like I don't think it would be much of a turn on, right? It's going to put you off a little bit. Like you don't want to be
100%,
involved in
100%.
anything. Do you know what I mean? So that, on top of the fact that they're young as well, I just think again, even if no criminal, it's definitely ethically wrong.
Oh, of course, but listen. If he's known that boy since 10, yeah, I'm telling you now, he's been working on that boy since 10.
I mean, let's just think about this for a second.
Hold up. Somebody said in the comments, yeah, that the boy didn't seem that too bothered about it and was quite like he's not really saying anything about it, is he? Like, yeah, I've been abused or anything.
Well, apparently he did. Well, apparently he was drunk and wanted to. So in the NTA Awards, that's what's forced his hand to come out and say that he was gay, because the National TV Awards were like days prior to that, and that the young lad that he's been having the affair with ended up outside, seen very drunk, and approached Phil, Holly, and some of the other like senior members of staff. And other people had witnessed that as well. So they knew that something had gone on, but they didn't know what. It was all kind of just rumors. But obviously then when he comes out on that sofa that morning saying, oh, I'm gay, obviously there were then people that put two and two together, you know, and you get what you do. So yeah, very, very fucking strange, man. But so I don't know whether he spoke out since. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he's fucking been paid off since. I mean, I did read something that Phillips Scope Field was meant to have given £300,000. So
yeah,
but these are the type of people, man, that are fucking. And you think it's just TV? It's like I say, call me fucking conspiracy theorist to that. But these same type of people they're trying to force in your schools now. Again, it's not about whether they can fucking teach your kids. It's just whether or not they're going to push out the narrative they want to your kids. That will be seen as more of a.
In 1985, this guy was in a BBC, right? In BBC Children's TV, right? So they've put him in the position. The BBC put him in a position where he was fucking with children all day, every day, right? Grooming children on TV, you know, becoming the household figure, basically. Do you know what I mean? And they're just as guilty. I mean, we're talking about the BBC with the same BBC with the paedophile statue on the front of their building that they refused to remove. For decades, we've been begging them to take it down. We don't want it, right? This fucking abolition, right? And no, they wanna spend £1.4 million to restore it. Are you shitting me? You know what you could buy for £1.4 million? You could buy a mansion, right, with acreage and 1,000 statues, and they want to restore this poxy bit of statue for £1.4 million of your money, and people still want to pay people BBC TV license. Man, these people are crazy,
man. You got to remember, mate. Look at the power they give Jimmy Savile, whether it were the BBC. Look at the power they give him.
Jimmy Savile,
yeah. Well, he had an influence with the royal family.
Yeah,
he's not the only one. No, what's his name? The one who'd be in his gang, Gary Glitter, and then the other knobhead, the one that used to draw and do all the arty stuff.
Rolf Harris. Died last week, didn't he?
The list is endless. The list is endless. It's like one after the other. It's like they literally went to recruitment from the sexual offenders register. That's what they recruited everybody from the sexual offenders register.
Yeah.
Anybody, that's what they did. That's where they recruited from.
But the mad thing is, it's going all in the entertainment industry and that, but it's happening in our own fucking neighborhoods, people, every fucking day.
And the truth is,
mate, they're everywhere, and we don't know.
No, I know, but this is my point, right? So, for instance, again, I know that you know Stinson Hunter. Got to refer to Stinson Hunter, right? He was like basically the first person really to start predator hunting.
Right. No, don't know him, but yeah.
He kind of paved the way, and then it kind of become like a fucking global thing, right? He was on this morning at one stage, and he was speaking to Philip, and don't, again, just to think that these people are sat there apparently like exposing, fucking questioning people on certain things that we want to know about, when these motherfuckers are all guilty of doing it themselves. Do you know what I mean? They're all doing it themselves, man. So if it's happening in those kind of positions, then they're never going to clamp down on it in society, like on a whole, you know, like within, like you say, your communities and things like that. It's never going to fucking happen, mate, because everyone from the top's fucking like it. And if they start doing it to all the people beneath them and giving out heavy sentences and actually clamping down, they'd have to start coming down on everyone else, i.e. your government. So that's why people get like sentences.
There are tens of thousands of children going missing.
First of all, let me just interrupt this conversation to say, Susie, just because somebody farts on a panel doesn't mean it's me. I did not do that. Yeah, I don't know what you heard, where you heard it, what time, wherever, but it wasn't me. I can confirm. Because of that, I forgot what I was going to say. Fuck. Thanks, Susie. Like, comments about my arse made me forget what I was going to say.
But yeah, mate, it's sick and fucking twisted world we live in, I tell you.
Mate, I tell you what, they're never going to solve the problem until they turn around and say, do you know what? You get caught fucking diddling with a kid or a fucking woman who doesn't want to be diddled with, yeah? You're getting hanged, mate. Simple. There is no place on this earth for these horrible people, mate. I'm sorry, but there isn't.
There's no rehabilitation. There's no coming back.
No, there isn't, mate. Well, if you walk around
like
them sort of thoughts in your head, you ain't. Listen, it's like this. Yeah, I've got mental health problems. Although I do my work on myself, but yeah, I've still got that mental health. I'm always going to have it. Yeah, but I've just got ways of coping to make life better. Yeah, a paedophile is always going to have them views, always going to have them thoughts. Yeah, it's a mental condition, mate, and they're fucked up people, and they just need to be hanged. There is no cure. Put the old cattle prod on them, fucking everything. Like, get rid of them. And until you start doing that, you might get people start saying, do you know what? I actually like life, so I might think twice actually about this. I might just keep them as thoughts and not do anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Leo says here, years ago you could tell an old school pedo now.
Exactly.
You know what? I kind of say I agree with that. I do agree with that within like society and that. Yeah, you'd be like, oh yeah, but now, but the most likely in power bit, now they've always been like it, bro. It's just that, as I say, we live in a era now where.
Nah, bare bullshit. Yeah, back when we was.
What you're telling me? It hasn't always happened in power.
Oh, listen, Bear. Back when we was kids, though, yeah, bro. A pedo was a fucking old man. Yeah, you know, all that type now, yeah. A pedo can be a fucking teenage boy, 18, 19-year-old boy, bro.
Yeah.
It's way different. Do you know what I mean? It's way different now. Back when I was a kid, a pedo was an old man who used to try to give you sweets when he come out of school or something. You know what I mean? Now, a pedo can be anything from fucking 18 to whatever.
It's just, that's just it though. It's people's perceptions, right? The pedo's always been a pedo, right?
Yeah.
It's just people's perceptions of a pedo has changed. That's all it is. You know, it's a bit like this since 9/11. You know, Muslims became terrorists all of a sudden. Everyone's like harassing more than
Also,
Muslims.
lads, I was just thinking, let's just call them weirdos. Yeah, too much P word after P word. YouTube won't like that, so let's just call them weirdos.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same thing, you know, with the T word. Do you know what I mean? Like
The weirdos. We just call them weirdos or wizards. Wizards.
Yeah. Who's put that? We had one, and funny enough, we had one in this area. You might remember it, Bear. There was a couple of scout leaders in this town that got done for it. Do you remember?
They're everywhere. They're literally pedo groups, hunting groups that out there that are catching these sick people on a daily. Right, every day I'm seeing live streams. Right, live streams, man. Every day, sometimes 5, 6 a day. You know.
So I only see a couple.
This
I've seen
country, thousands and thousands of them in this country roaming the streets right now.
No, I'm not saying there's not, right?
It's
But
another,
maybe
it's another thing that annoys me about BBC and ITV and the news and whatever, and how they don't report on the missing children. There are tens of thousands of children going missing every.
They don't. We know that they push on what they want to push. There's a lot of things that, like,
Why wouldn't they
we know
talk
that
about it? Because that would mean putting pressure on the police force that would investigate probably them or their ties to whatever they're fucking up to. Do you know what I'm saying? Because these people are nothing more than grooming factories. These places, ITV, channel, BBC or whatever, they're nothing but toxic garbage that comes out of that thing. It should repel people every time they listen to any of that garbage that they want to put on there. I don't know. Probably the most dangerous thing you could do these days is put your kids in front of the TV.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You couldn't be more right, mate, on that one. Couldn't be more
brainwash them and indoctrinate them and feed all this lies and propaganda and literally distort history and reality, right? And then your kid grows up and he has no idea of what the fuck is going on around, because the TV has just done a whole fucking number on him, brainwashed him.
Donna, that's very true. Where there are children, there are predators.
Yeah, I mean, where do you want them to congregate to? Like I said, these people, they need to be controlled.
Island.
And the people who do the controlling, i.e. the intelligence services, and they're all in on this. Who do you think they are? They're in on this as well. Our MI6 and all these, they know everything, man. Didn't you see David Cameron when he went on the show? He knew. Why? How did he know? Because he was Prime Minister and he must have got briefed about.
What was that thing you showed me yesterday, Mellows, as well? With the what was that pattern thing in the background of Phillips Scope Field on some presenting something many
they
years
used
ago?
to use those prominently until the FBI
There's actually, I was about to say the FBI have actually released the document on that as well, haven't they?
Yeah, but the BBC have been known to have used them for a long time, and people have glossed over the fact.
What is it, Mellows? Can you explain what it is? Because people are probably thinking, what the
fuck they're paedophile symbols, much like the Freemasonic symbols. That unless you know what they are, you won't know what they are, right? So you've got like a little squiggly line in a form of a triangle that represents a boy lover, and a double heart, either inside another or side by side, that represents you being a little girl lover. And then there's another one. I forgot what the other one is, but basically it means you just like boys and girls. Yeah, And these symbols, the FBI have released them. You can Google them and see them, and then you'll start seeing them all over the place. The rabbit hole goes deep. But bear in mind, since they've released that information and more people are becoming aware of these symbols, they've started to use them less and less, especially on BBC, for instance, and ITV. But they're everywhere, man. These fuckers have got their own little rings, like Freemason style, little, boy lover rings and shit, little girl lover rings. They're sick, these people are. There's a big fucking network, man. This is why these people are all powerful. All of them. They're all part of this network, and they're all in positions of authority and power over others. Why? Yeah. Because the intelligence services, the apparatus that controls the whole fucking country, right, needs to have the ability to control these people. So who does it fucking put in that situation? It's going to put some fucking pedophile that he knows some sick shit about. He's going to stick him in there.
Yeah, because I was about to say, who... Listen, like Phillips Scope Field, while he's up on that, in front of that camera every morning, he's in control of the country more than the Prime Minister. The media controls.
But there's someone controlling him.
The media does. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
There is someone always controlling him. They could kill that switch anytime he wants to speak out of turn, but he's their mouthpiece. So he's going to say everything that they tell him to say, and the narrative that they want to spin that morning, they're going to set the mood. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so whoever you're going to have on the morning TV show has got to be someone that they can fucking absolutely control. Right? Makes sense to me. It's logic. You know, you're going to set the moon for the country in the morning. Yeah, man. They're going to control that. Why wouldn't they?
Be interested to know what happens to their viewer count. Because surely things like this are enough to make people, again, wake up and realise, hang on a minute, not all's quite what it seems. You know? Dodgy fucking times, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the rabbit hole goes deep, man. It really does. You know, and just recently the unredacted documents released from the Epstein case, revealing names that no media, no BBC don't want to talk about it. What happened to Panorama and fucking 60 Minutes and all that shit? What happened to where's the journalists? Why the fuck do we have to do the job of the journalists? We're not trained. We're not
journalists anymore, mate.
We're not even articulate enough to get our message across. You know what I mean?
Journalists aren't journalists anymore, mate. You heard it in that you're not allowed. The whole point of journalism is what they said there. You're meant to question the narrative. That's the whole point. That is the whole point, and that it is. You know, when you got woke ass people that are running this shit. You know, and if you do speak out, you heard it there. If you do speak out, your job's gone. Look how many names they reeled off of people, you know, that spoke out against something, you know, and it's not even like the worst thing in the world, but they lost their jobs over it. That's not journalism, bro. That's just you sitting there and reading.
Corruption, and we definitely need stiffer penalties for corruption at any level of government or you know. And I don't. Do you know what?
You'd have no government left, though, if that was the case.
Do you know, this is what I'm saying. You wouldn't even have a constitutional monarchy. Well, it's not even a constitutional joke, really. But you wouldn't have a monarchy because they're all fucked over there, wouldn't they? I mean, you can't even try those people. What judge, what court on the land is going to, you know, how are you going to do that? He owns the courts. No, man. This is something different. This is a war on corruption, right? And the people who have total control of this country are all corrupt and guilty as fuck. Guilty of countless crimes it would take you 2 weeks to list them all. Just on one of them. Never mind. All of them. And why all of them? Because not one of them would be in that position if they didn't have an ability to control them. So they've got skeletons in that closet, man. They just hide them well. That's all.
Oh, like I said, 10 years ago, man. 10 years ago, Cameron sat on a sofa with him making a subtle threat. Like, you know, and like I said, me and you spoke about that months ago, way before this ever come out as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean he made a threat? What do you mean?
So basically, 10 years ago,
yeah,
David Cameron's Prime Minister, he comes on this morning, and they're all of a sudden they're talking about paedophiles, right?
Yeah.
And I think all the people within, this morning we're questioning all those that are in Parliament that are actually on the sex offenders register or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Now, that's a conversation about paedophiles, right? He gives him a list. He sits there. Phillips Scope Field says, I've got a list here that I made up within 3 minutes last night. Here's a list of names. You know all the names on that list. Will you be speaking with them? And David Cameron then turns around and explains to Phillips Scope Field how he should be very careful because this could be turned into some kind of witch hunt for those that are gay.
Oh, really?
What's that got to do with anything to do with paedophilia? I played it before. I'll play it again. It's only short. It's a little bit of music behind it just to humour it up. But
As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground and who never would be missed.
Took me about 3 minutes last to turn into a sort of witch hunt, particularly against people who are gay.
The blanks I'd rather leave to you. Where do you begin? But it really doesn't matter whom you put upon the list, for that none of them be missed.
Yeah. Oh, how did that all of a sudden, Mark, get turned into being about gays?
Well, there you go. No idea.
And there's a full, there's obviously the full clip that you can find in places. A lot of places have taken it down.
I posted the BitChute link in the private chat here. It's got the whole conversation in full context.
I think Tim Smith wants the link, Bear.
Say that again.
I think Tim wants the link, mate.
Yeah. 2 seconds, Tim, mate. I'll put it out for you, bro.
Big up, Nos Dog. Good to see you, bro.
Fucking hell, if it will let me, what's going on here?
So there's basically, for me, that's concrete evidence, right? That David Cameron, the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister, knew that he was sitting across the table from the pedo, right? And just, threatened him to protect his pals. Do you know what I mean?
I can't listen to that hypocrite anymore.
He makes me feel sick as well, Cameron.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, it shows, doesn't it, man? He knew 10 years ago, mate. He did. Big up, Tim.
Afternoon, all. All I gotta say is they want to be fucking strung up and fucking killed, or all of them. They just fucking disgust me. They do it.
It's like what Mello said, man. It's like a club. It's like almost like a Masonic fucking mentality, man. You know. Like,
there was 3 wrong sat on that on this morning just then. You know what you just showed? 3 wrong uns, like, you're fucking crazy, man.
Scummy bastards. I've got a lot of them, man.
That's too good for them. I'll put them on a fucking island, give them leprosy, and let them fucking die slowly.
Where are you going to send them? Barry Island?
But no, fuck, we don't want to make fucking Barry Island, for fuck's sake. There's probably enough over there as it is. We just it's fucking madness. It really is, like, what's going on. But no, we don't want them.
It's just very strange, like. Ain't learned nothing, man, from all those years ago with Jimmy Savile. Ain't learned nothing with the Epstein thing that's happened in the last couple of years come out, It's all a proper dark, seedy world, that showbiz. That fucking kind of TV life. You know what I mean? Proper, they're all weirdos, man. And then in those clips that I've played today, how many people now coming out, turning around and saying, oh, yeah, we had some idea of that. So everyone knows, they all know each other's business. Like Mello said, in that industry, they all know, you know what I mean? There's no way they didn't know.
Of course they all know.
The same reason, in my opinion, Matt Holly didn't have a job.
In that world, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And then it became what you know about who you know. So in order to gain influence and rise through the ladders, right, you're not only willing to stab your mate in the back, right, you would be, willing to blackmail and cheat and steal your way through to the top, And that's the mentality if that in that environment, they're all in it for themselves.
Well, the wrong uns are protecting the wrong uns, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all protecting. They're all, complicit. They're all turning a blind eye, willfully neglecting the fact that something is wrong. It's a bit like you're walking past a woman's getting mugged and raped, and you just carry on walking, and you convince yourself that it's nothing to do with you. I'm just walking here, right? I didn't do anything wrong by just carrying on and going about my business.
Yeah,
I'm only one little person. That guy's very big and very strong, but what can I do? I'm a coward. You know, I'm chicken shit. You know, I run and hide from my problems. Right? Because that's the problem with this world today. Too many chicken shit cowards around. Not willing to stand up and say, hey, that's wrong. Right?
Because
I'm going to point it out.
He rise like through ITV. He rose like quite quickly, didn't he? He was everywhere. He done the Cube. He's done no end of stuff. He has no end of stuff on TV since he kind of like got the job with ITV. And they've like you could say they've pushed him out there as almost like main face presenter.
Of course they did. They propped him up. Why?
Well, they knew about his seediness because they were the ones booking the taxis every Friday morning.
They enabled him. They created him. They groomed him for that position.
I think the ITV are guilty of grooming the young runner, the T-boy themselves. I mean, let's not forget that any employer has a duty of care to their employees, right?
100%.
And they clearly didn't show none of that. They enabled it. They didn't book them the same taxi every morning. They booked two separate taxis, so they weren't
for millions.
He probably will do, mate.
In my opinion, enough to shut them down because they deserve shutting down. They're just nothing but liars and hypocrites anyway. And they're governed by Ofcom. That's another place that needs to get shut down and weeded out. Ofcom. They're regulated, aren't they? Who's regulating the regulators?
Yeah. Because again, Ofcom meant to be independent, aren't they? Yeah, right.
Publicly funded. So we're paying for their expenses, meanwhile, while they're, having their little private meetings on Epstein Island, probably.
Funny, isn't it? How Ofcom as well. They'll pick up on like the slightest word that's not used in the correct political way now. Yeah, correct way. But yet they don't notice something that they're viewing and watching going on for a number of months, potentially years. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't pick up on that. They watch that shit.
It's like their little safety guard to protect them from like a rogue, independent fucking, media broadcaster who wants to say something. And they get gagged and shut down because it doesn't fall in line with the government's wishes at the time.
Do you think there should be a criminal investigation?
Yeah, but before you get to the criminal investigation, you need to investigate the investigators.
Yeah, that's true. This is why I think it's funny that the ITV have turned around and said, "Yeah, we've opened an investigation." Hang on a minute, you lot that should be being investigated. What are you investigating? You know what I mean? How does that work? Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, I'll go out and commit a load of offences, and then I'll investigate myself.
Yeah. We investigated ourselves and we found that we did nothing wrong and everything.
Yeah. Move on. Then they get in the next Phillips Scope Field. The next one.
Yeah. The next one. The next fucking Rolf Harris, fucking Gary Glitter, fucking Michael Jackson, fucking, the list. How many does the list do before people think connect the dots?
No, this TV presenter shit as well. What are these kids?
Before you realise. How many dots do you want to connect before you realise what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, if you look at like presenters and that, bro, when they start their career, a lot of them all seem to start in like children's TV.
Yeah, of course.
That's like the route in it through children's TV, and there's many that have many.
Yeah, it's a factory. They train these agents.
Was one of them actually. Phillips Scope Field was one of them many years ago.
He was a little kid when he started with the BBC, man. He was a youngster. He probably groomed himself, That's probably why he likes it so much.
And then it ain't just a coincidence that this stuff about his brother's come out and he's been now convicted and in prison.
Yeah.
Wonder what else will come out.
But it's true though. If you look into it, most offenders, right, turns out almost all of them were abused themselves when they were younger, and groomed and all the rest of it. All of them, almost all of them. From my
Jimmy Mallet knows a bit. Jimmy Mallet, there are some strange ones, aren't there? Like I say,
and it's usually not the ones that speak out, the ones that keep quiet about it and brush it. They end up being the monster that destroyed them in the first place. You know what I mean? You know, it becomes some twisted version of a human species.
Yeah, places should be
all that time.
There should be boycotted.
This fake world around them, you know.
Like if anyone ain't learned nothing over the last few years, I'd definitely say with stuff like this still coming to light, that like time to turn your telly off, people. Anyone still out there watching TV, turn the fucker off, will ya?
You know
Tim spoke about throwing his out from a 10-story.
If everybody switched off their TV, that would prevent the next pandemic.
It would prevent a lot of shit, bro. If no one fed into all that shit and watched it and read into it, wars, all of it would be pointless.
Yeah,
it literally will be pointless if no one was paying attention to it.
Yeah, there's no distraction anymore. Be like, fuck, we can't distract these cunts. What we're going to do now?
Because could you turn around and say as well, oh, again, am I being a bit of a conspiracy theorist here, right? But obviously I don't dispute that all of this has gone on. But ain't it funny how like everyone's willing to throw him under the bus now? A bit like you see with Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Like you've seen with other people, all of a sudden everyone throwing him under the bus. Yep. Is that in itself not a bit of a distraction?
I think, yeah, it serves as a distraction, you're right. And B,
timing on it, timing and things like that.
He's also dangerous, isn't he? Right? Because he knows where all the dead bodies are buried, basically, let's face it. He knows handlers, he knows names. This is another Jeffrey Epstein's list that he's going to Epstein himself. I think somebody mentioned that in your chat, for sure. This guy is not going to be around for long.
Big up, Tim. I'll put the link back out, bro.
He knows a lot of secrets. He's got names and numbers, and probably, if he's smart enough, he's probably, done a little database where he's got, some evidence on someone else more powerful than him, maybe. Because that's the sort of people we're dealing with here. Right? They're not regular Joes like me or you. These people are devious as fuck, corrupt as fuck, and you want to think the way they do. I mean, it's gonna disturb you, but it's a rabbit hole, mate. You come up with some weird fucking theories. You know what I mean?
I just know that whole fucking show business life, mate. It's very, very seedy. Has been for many years.
Of course, it has. The whole fucking lot of it has. The whole, from the root of it, from BBC. BBC were the birthplace of TV, right? And then it kind of migrated over to ITV. And then as they brought in new talent, the old talent, they found new, better, higher paying wages over at ITV.
Devious just for money. It's sad.
Yeah. So you can see how it's all connected. You can see how it's all connected.
People like that Holly, man. Yeah, maybe it was a big breakthrough, but she was willing. That was more important than fucking.
You can see how the same interested parties and the shareholders and the puppet masters behind ITV are the same interested parties and the puppet masters behind BBC. The way they have this revolving door where they can just slip from one and go straight into the other, and they get more money.
But they're not playing a dangerous game now, the media, because like by getting rid of like some of these high profile so-called journalists, right? do they, with the information they have, then not just start speaking out in bitterness?
Well, they've got these gag
There's
orders.
a lot of people
They've
now.
got
Piers
non-disclosure.
Morgan, I think they thought they were going to end Piers Morgan. I mean, that's
They've
clearly
got gag orders they use. They've got non-disclosure agreements that they use. They've got settlements with agreements that they sign. Agreements not to disclose any information or whatever. So they're tied up legally. They can't say
yeah,
nothing.
but they
otherwise.
tie themselves up legally so that that's there to cover themselves, right?
Well, they're put in this position where the only way that they can move forward is to accept. It's not like, it's a bit like Well,
what I took from that was these big broadcasters, these big broadcasters, leading UK broadcasters, are able to fucking determine what people are putting out there. Like, for instance, there was one person that was ready to print a story, and they were told by ITV very fucking sternly that if you publish that, we'll sue you. And obviously, they must have felt that there was enough there that it wasn't going to publish it. So all these legal ties that you're on about they're put in place to fucking cover up their own.
Remember that court case that came from that video we just played? That MP whose name got shown, as people were able to see his name and make his name out from the list, and he sued ITV for £325,000 because his name was visible on that list that he showed to David Cameron that day, right? So yeah, Lord McAlpine, I think his name was. He sued the ITV because of that stunt. He sued them for £325,000. Google it, you'll see it.
What's this? More than one young man groomed. Complicit ITV managers must face police.
Police? Police. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There ain't none of that for people like them, is there?
Have you been watching auditing videos lately?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't know their ass from their elbow, do they?
You know, the type of police we got, right? They beat up kids. They strip little girls and leave them in the back of the police van with no clothes on, and cut their clothes off with scissors. They
they just have them tied anyway. Even within their job role, they're all made to sign the Secret Service Act. So again, we know, because we see that in auditing, right? As soon as you ask them anything at all that could be seen as political or even actually their opinion, they don't give it. Not allowed to give it. They're hushed. From the minute they start their job, they've signed something there to turn around and say,
you call them up, right, and tell them my house has just been burgled, right, and they take fucking 2 days to turn up, right, and then you phone up, right? Someone phones up because some guy's got a camera on the street, right, and outside on the street, and they turn up like a flash. I mean, can't figure, how do I work that one out?
Enforce as well. Blue lights the lot, man. Blue
lights the lot, like fucking 6 cars. You know what I mean?
Within minutes as well. Can I add? Like they will literally
got
turn
a camera.
Up.
Let's go with YouTube, TikTok. Fuck knows. Who cares? Fucking let's go and do a TikTok video. You know what I'm waiting to see, right? Is some of these officers instead of giving it the large, right, doing like a TikTok video, like a dance routine or something, in front of the camera. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? You imagine? To come out and say, "What was your ID? What's your?" And they start doing
that you need a sense of humour. A lot of them don't have it.
They start doing a dance routine for you. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that'd be funny as fuck, man. I'm telling you, I'd love that. I'd love to see so much. Yeah, that'd go viral as well, man. I'm telling you, I don't think gives
the police though. The police just this is what I'm trying to get at. They just follow what they're told, man.
Right? I'm not giving you any ideas or anything, but that would be funny, right? You just put your uniform on, your badge on, and then as you walk up to the auditor with the camera, you start doing a dance routine with your pal. You know, I mean, that would be really funny, man. That would go viral, honestly. Yeah. I'd make sure that would go viral. I'd make it world famous, trust me. You know what I mean? I'd get everyone to share it. Good.
Yeah, police ain't going to do nothing. What are they going to do? Going to walk into ITV and be like, yeah, I'm arresting. They ain't going to do shit.
Your hands are tied already, mate. It's private property. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? Need to work. It's a big problem for them. This means they have to do their job, and half the fucking staff are fucking unqualified to tie their own fucking shoelace without qualified immunity.
Well, as I say, my last thought on it is, people, now's the time to turn your fucking tellies off. Seriously.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Just
auditors, do what you want. Personally, start turning up at these places, man. ITV, BBC, start auditing the shit out of them as well, because as you were saying earlier on, Mellows, it is actually, when you think about it, is real high fucking level of corruption. Like, if you know, you want to go out and actually highlight
purposely designed like that. It's the system that's created it, right? It's purposely designed like that. It's how those at the top control those at the bottom, the very bottom, right? Like me and you, basically, you know, and the fucking puppet plastic police officer that's going to come and arrest you unlawfully for no reason.
Well, that's what it needs. It needs reform, doesn't it? It needs to. It needs to be served as
but
a
in order
time.
to do that, you need to scrap the monarch, because the monarch is where the problem starts. Do you know what I mean?
You know, now is the time to fucking scrap it, start again, and start being a bit more transparent, showing more integrity.
More transparent. A lot more
Start
transparent.
showing more fucking integrity for fucking sure as well, you know, and accountability, because there doesn't seem to be any accountability. Like I said, this will all blow over within a few months. People won't forget, and they'll talk about it.
They should be held to a higher standard, meaning when they get arrested for a crime, they should have a harsher sentence given to them because they were in positions of trust, not a lenient sentence because you know, they get a pass because, you know, they're a police officer and they served for 15, 20 years and you know, we can give him a suspension, and he's lost his job, and he's a poor person, he hasn't got no money now, he's gonna lose. Come on, man, he just done some fucking heinous crime that someone would have got 5-10 years for, and he's getting a fucking pass. What are you talking about? He should have get double what everyone else gets, in my opinion. It's supposed to be held to a higher standard, right? Well, let's see it.
Yeah, that's right. But as I say, if that happened, you'd be left with no fucking government.
Well, it would be a fucking start.
It would be a good start. It would. I guess it would. But...
We wanted to depopulate, didn't we? I mean, isn't that what their agenda was? Depopulate the planet. Well, let's fucking depopulate then. Come on. Let's get rid of this shit.
Resistor Dystopia says, how have we allowed it to happen? I'll tell you how we've allowed it to happen, by falling complacent. Falling complacent. Everyone's very complacent, aren't they? No one really cares until it actually happens to them, and then all of a sudden they're sat there wondering why it is happening to them. It's like, huh?
Oh, it's on me. It's me. Oh my God! It's the world revolves around me, but the reality is no, it don't, mate. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, welcome to my world. You know, shit happens every day to people like me in my world.
We've bored Monk to sleep. He's never usually this quiet.
So wait, what are we going to talk about? Because we can't use the P word.
No, I'm washing up. I'm doing the kit. My wife's at work, and because I fucking got back from work before her, I've got to do the fucking washing up, haven't I?
Get your ass in this.
I've been doing that, but my phone keeps locking. I don't know why my phone keeps locking. StreamYard's playing up where it won't let me show my camera or nothing. It's just locking up every like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, mine does that. It's weird, isn't it?
And once it locks up, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. So I've just been pottering around with my hands all wet, wiping the
It's alright, we've just been putting the world to rights.
No, I thought I'd do what you do, bear. Just come on and not really say much.
Yeah, man, why not, innit?
You know what I mean? Just sit here like a piece of furniture.
Yeah. Like an ornament or something. Yeah, man, why not?
That's it. Or, better still, a fridge.
Oh,
drink. Put a kettle on.
Not a lamp or something, because I'm bright then.
All right, okay. Okay.
I'm like a lamp. Bright. Yeah. Gotta switch me on and that for me to work. That's just the way it is.
Tell you what, if I don't get a gold star when my missus walks in, I fucking ain't doing the kitchen for her again. Fucking unbelievable techers, that is.
Sure, he says, don't say that, BBA will eat you. But yeah, I am going to move on from the Philip thing now. I just wanted to, give my opinion on it. I think it's really fucking dirty. And I'll leave it with, do people think that both of them should never work in TV again? When I say both of them, I mean Phil and Holly. Or do people think that Holly was sweet and innocent?
No, I think both of them should stay away from TV. I doubt we will actually see Philip again live on TV ever. I really doubt it. Unless it's do you know what? Unless it's some BBC Newsnight special like they've done with Prince Andrew.
Well, Prince Andrew, he's another one, isn't he? That's what I mean. He's another one. How did he get away from being mentioned in this stream? Yeah, he's another one.
Yeah, he's got away with it. He's even paid money to get away with it, and we still sit here like, yeah, it's cool, man.
If that was us, we'd have been flown over, mate, and extradited to fucking...
Of course. It's all about privilege.
You know what I think? I think he should be rotting in a fucking jail, right? And she should just fuck off to America. Maybe they'll pay her over there, but she should not receive a single penny from the public ever again. Right? So yeah, maybe she might have a better chance if she fucks off to America and and goes and mingles with them parasites over there. Maybe people forget about
she was on. Her salary was around about £700,000 a year, and that was before any sponsorship she had. As you heard there, they were clearly allowed to make their own brands and use the ITV brand then to push their own brands. Yeah, and you heard they weren't allowed to promote chocolate. Fucking weird. Can't talk about chocolate, it's poison.
No, because it conflicts of interest, isn't
it? It's poison, man, chocolate. Yeah. Now I know what my excuse is. I've been eating poison for fucking too long. I need to cut down on the poison, people. But yeah, like I say, it's very fucking thing. I know a lot of people in here don't even watch TV. That's why people come to things like YouTube in the first place. It's because they don't watch fucking TV. But again, it's the type of shit that's going on. So you're not missing a lot, people, if you don't watch TV. And if you do, seriously, man, throw it out the fucking window, sell it to some fucking idiot that wants it. I don't know. Yeah. And
so we see a crackhead, give it to him.
Yeah, stop paying the fucking TV license. And there is actually a way to stop paying your TV license legally, and you can do that, and you will not be hassled for several years. So if anyone is interested in that, maybe I'll hold a live and we'll actually go through the process. I'll do it on a live, share my screen, and I'll fill the whole thing in. So where by the end of it, I no longer own a TV, want a TV, and they'll have to leave you alone for a good few years before they can start asking you about TV licensing. So
just next time you see him at the door, just give him the TV and say bye. Close the door.
Yeah, stop giving them fucking money, for fuck's sake. And if you see any of the goons come out saying they work for these pedophiles and these pedophile enablers, then Get your phone out, man, and start recording them, giving them some shit.
No, I wouldn't.
Upload it to your channel.
I wouldn't suggest giving them any shit.
Just tell them, man. Just go away and that. They're weirdos, aren't they? Those people that come around your house about TV.
I told the guy that came around here that
the last one that comes to mind got shooed away very quickly.
Pedophiles, you
know.
Yeah, I mean, they're nothing but a terrorist, pedophile organization. You know, they are the terrorists. They terrorized people for the past couple of years over some bullshit, right? And then they terrorized people before over some more bullshit. And every time they're the terrorists, right? TV terrorizing the shit out of people and make them wear these stupid fucking cloth over their face and make them think that it's going to work and it's going to protect them, and it doesn't do anything. Right? What kind of shit is that? Isn't that terroristic? Isn't that terrorizing the public? Making them, and not giving free speech, and not giving doctors, experts, a platform to speak their truth and question the science? No, we've got to take one narrative. They're terrorists, man. And they're paedophile protectors. They are paedophiles. They're all the highest ranked. They're all paedophiles, man. So
big up the new member, Gregory.
Big up, Gregory, mate. Appreciate that, bro.
Let's go. Gregory's jumped on. Scream if you want to go faster, people. Jump on, jump on.
Roll that up.
The louder you scream, the faster we go. Hit that membership button. Let's go. Yeah, I used to work on a fair. Well, I didn't. I wish I did, though.
It fucking feels like a fucking a ride, man. I want to get off, man. When's this fucking ride going to stop? Yeah, kind of getting a bit wheezy, one of those rides. What kind of ride did you used to work on?
Well, I didn't. I just made it up.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
This one feels made up anyway, but fucking feels real, man.
Yeah, no, I did make it up, but no, I've never worked on a fair.
What's that? He used to work on a fair.
That's the beard. Wait, don't refer to me as a lady, please. I am merely they. Call me they.
He's gender neutral. Yeah,
yes,
please.
I'm not a
pronouns,
lady.
please.
I'm
Pronouns.
a bearded they.
Isn't that not hate speech now?
Big up, Gregory, mate.
What he's just said to me?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
shouldn't we ban it from the history books? You know, like in the circus, because it like offends. Maybe we should. Do that.
I'm definitely offended with that comment. I mean,
oh my god.
He's lying. He worked in the freak show as a suck Malteser. Susan, man, that's naughty.
Susan, you're lucky you're a member, mate. You're lucky you're a member.
Oh look, him just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, you're lucky you're a member, Susie, because I work on the door now. Yeah, and if you ain't tall enough, you ain't jumping on the ride. You don't.
Oh, can I just say I love Shorty's intro that he's got.
Yeah, Pablo made it. Quality.
Really good, that is really good.
Pablo's good. Oh, and this is what I was saying before, Bear, about this, like certain people on this community, man. There's very clever people on this community, and if you all put your heads together, you can make something quite big, man. Do you know what I mean? There's some very clever
Can I show that my app screen?
What? Yeah, man.
Just the my app screen. I won't show anything now. I want to show you something. Talking about clever people. This guy here, Mellows, is fucking genius, mate. Him and a couple of others.
How mellow is he though? On a scale of 1 to 10, Bear, how mellow is he though?
Only when you piss me off, I'm not so mellow.
Yeah.
Or when or if he wants to fucking go on a rant about, we've probably done it on here. You've probably already heard it, man. You've probably already heard it.
Hey, they call me Mellows, but when I'm not mellow, I'm just known as angry.
Yeah, I'm just not so mellow. Yeah.
Obviously, like as much as we do the auditing and the content creating side, like as I keep saying, there is a little team of us that work together, and Mellows and a couple of others certainly have been pushing to put something together that eventually he can offer everyone. It will be something that can be offered out and people can use. You can back up everything on your YouTube channel. So forever anything, if you're a content creator and say, for instance, your channel went, for instance, yeah, all of your content will be backed up over here. There's a access to using a VPN. There's loads of stuff on there. We've got our own social media platform, which is a bit like Twitter, would you say? Laid out a bit like Twitter, Mellows?
Yeah.
Is it called Twitter?
It's not called Twitter.
Yeah, I'm thinking of calling it you twit face.
Oi, why you call yourself Dr. If you're a doctor now, Shorty, yeah, you can come and have a look at these fucking grapes fucking growing on my arsehole. Tell me what it is. Come on, Shorty.
Bear with me.
I'll be your first house call. How's the rush, Tim?
Okay, for some reason I can't get it up. Very funny. Very funny.
Oh, Miss BBA, what's it like?
Right, can you see that? I got it up, guys. I got it up.
I got to clip that shit, man. That's
yes,
brilliant.
Wayne.
For some reason, I can't get it up.
Hello.
Hey, Wayne, you good?
Yeah. I've been trying to get on one of the platforms for one of these live chats for a couple of days. Got some information. I wanted to talk about, in September the police are stopping to go out for mental health calls.
Yes.
I see that today.
Right. What that is a problem, reaction, solution scenario. So, powers that be, let's call it the power. So what's happening is the powers that be have decided this, so they'll get the police to stop going out. The NHS have already said that they can't cope with the ambulance service. So there's a problem. The public will want a reaction. The government will give them a reaction, a new private mental health force. Private, G4S, Serco, Catheter, one of them will run it, but probably will be a Tory Conservative peer from the House of Lords. They'll make an absolute fortune out of it. Another way of moving public money, finance, into private organisations.
Yeah, that means they'll just pick up anybody, and if they say they're mad, they'll just lock them up and no one will blink.
No, they'll probably be able to use blue lights. They'll have their own little vans. They'll probably build their own little
a whole new fucking bunch of people that will dictate.
Yeah, and they'll have their own little uniforms. Try and act as police when they're not. They've had fucking 2 weeks training, and it's
but all they need to say is that you're mad and you're getting arrested and you're going to get locked up and you're going to get drugged up and you're never to be seen again.
Well,
how many of those?
I don't want to go far as what will happen to the people, but they'll probably have their own compounds where they could even have their own places where they look after them. But this is just another way of, and then obviously the government will give the contract to one of the mates and get backhanders. This is what's going to happen. Does anyone think there will be, because they can't do nothing? So it's a massive window now, and this is how they're playing it. The public will go mad, saying, no, these people who are on the streets and they're off the reds, police won't pick them up, and people are shouting and going crazy in houses, and the family are afraid, which is understandable. But then they're going to say, right, we're gonna set up this new force, government contracts. Here we go again.
Oh. So
yeah, I didn't know that. So yeah, I didn't actually know that, mate. So like say, it's just a way of pushing.
That's what they're trying to do anyway. Roll out complete get rid of the NHS and have everything privatized like America. That's what they're trying to go for.
Yeah, well,
that's what
I
they're
think,
working towards.
Yeah, well, what's happening is because the Tories believe that they won't get in again, they've got really nothing to lose, and their sort of golden egg has always been the NHS to privatise it. So they're going to push it now as fast as they can.
Exactly. And the mental health bit is just the start of it.
That's just the start of it, yeah.
I mean, you're already getting people doing it off their own back going private now, just simply because they can't get in. You know what I mean? Because the waiting list is so long. People are already going private. I know loads of people never gone private. They now go private for operations and stuff because they just can't get in.
Yeah, but this will be purely for mental health, and this will be big money because this will be government contract.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this will come in and then it will start where everything, it will all slowly start going and there will be hardly NHS.
That's right. Yeah. And I can't believe the other thing I wanted to talk about was because he had it on the front of the screen, this Phillips Scope Field thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Phillips Scope. Honestly, I couldn't give a hoot about Phillips Scope Field when we're so close to nuclear Armageddon. And that's all we want to talk about is either Boris Johnson, WhatsApp, or fucking Phillips Scope Field.
It's distractions. Yeah. It's distractions. Yeah. Although, like I say, I do think it's a serious issue when these are the people that are meant to be giving you the news every day. These are the people that, unfortunately, not me, yourself, but unfortunately, a large proportion of people look up to. They see them as celebrities. They see them as influencers.
Yeah.
You know, and the type of people that they've got in position as influencers and people of power is disgusting, mate. And then people wonder how we're going to fix these problems in society. Well, you're not, are you? If it's not ever going to be, you know,
if you're going to rely on these people to fix it, it's never going to get fixed.
No.
So, but I agree with you. I couldn't really care about them personally, but I do think it, you know, these cover-ups have been happening for years. These cover-ups have been going on for years, and there's
just
probably
one more
many
thing
more
as
we
well,
don't know.
Which I've come across, and I've never heard this from this angle, which I'm going to come from now. But when you think about it, I think it makes sense. Now, you know, the big artificial intelligence news thing at the moment, that it's Musk says it's summoning the devil, and it could be one of the big three that will eliminate humanity. It's dangerous. We've all watched the Terminator films, understandably, and our brains and the way we think says, yes, that's a good thing. That really makes sense. But have you ever thought, because I won't go off on a tangent, but I do know somebody, it's a relation, who works in this artificial intelligence industry in America. And they've said that there's two specific brains which have been switched on a while now. They were like babies, but now they're really coming on. Anyway, they went straight from doing Masters University at Sheffield, Artificial Intelligence and Computer Studies, straight to America. Anyway, what I've been told is these artificial intelligence have been turned on. The powers that be, you could call them the 1%, the Illuminati, the people who control the world, they don't like what it's saying to save humanity. What the artificial intelligence is saying, we need socialism. We need a more fair society. We need to get rid of nuclear weapons, and even a way of how to do it, make a more equal society. Basically, a bit of socialism. Yeah. Now, Musk came out, it says you're summoning the demon. The problem is, in a billionaire's eyes, you think about this, socialism is the demon to them.
Of course it is.
They're pure capitalists.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like the Terminator 2 scenario. They're shit scared of what the AI is saying because it doesn't fit to their agenda.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And you never heard that angle, have you, on the news? But that's what I think. And I've been told.
You haven't. Yeah, that makes sense. I was watching something about AI the other night. Actually.
I have a theory. I have a theory about Elon Musk and AI, and I think he's one of those undercover brothers, you know. So he's been banging on about regulating others' AI, while secretly wanting to develop AI himself with the ability of neural linking, right? So yeah. I think He's just another one of these puppets who wants to make it mandatory regulation for the likes of me and you to create and make AIs, but it's okay for them to make and control these AIs. Do you know what I mean? So that's my thinking, because I'm one of those weird fuckers that kind of think out of the box. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, no, it's a valid point, but I think the main one at the moment, maybe things change, don't they, from week, month to month? But I think at the moment, that's what the AIs are telling them this. They need to change the world in a way that they're going to lose control. They can't stand it, so they're putting it out now. They don't want AI. Don't want AI.
Yeah, well, they want it, but they don't want it. They want it for themselves, but they don't want us to have it. If we're going to have it, it's got to be regulated. It's got to be, controlled. It's got to be, you know what I'm saying? We can't get too for our boots. We can't use it to eliminate them, for instance, right?
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean. They want the big back door to it, don't they?
They want to control everything. They want to become the gatekeepers of everything.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so they want the cake and eat it, don't they? They want it out there, but they want to control it.
Of course, it's typical elite style. That's the MO. They want it all, right? They want to inherit this world. They want to depopulate the entire planet so they can claim Africa as, it's fucking Lord fucking whoever the fuck has got Africa.
Yo. You say that, yeah? There was an interview with Elon Musk the other day with the BBC. You might have seen it going around a bit, yeah? And he's actually saying that they're lying to you and that it doesn't need depopulating.
You can Google this right now, right? Jeff Bezos, he has the intention of buying Cyprus, the island Cyprus in the Mediterranean. He wants to buy Cyprus there and create his own laws, so then he won't have to tax himself when he uses fucking robots everywhere, because the problem that they're facing, right? Yeah, the problem that he's facing is that when you remove the human force from all these factories and so on, right? You don't have to pay these taxes, right? Well, the government is worried about them not being able to tax all these cattle, right? So, so the tax has got to come from somewhere. So they've got to put the pressure on that puts the pressure on Jeff Bezos, and he has to pay a much higher tax if he wants to replace 200 people with one robot. He's got to pay more tax because of that, and he doesn't want to do that, right? So this is why they jump around the globe, avoid paying taxes, legal loopholes, and all that crap. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, stop using Amazon for sure. Stop using them all.
They're one of they're fucking really pushing for AI, aren't they?
It's not just Jeff Bezos. Go and look at his shareholders. Go to Yahoo.
Amazon couldn't give a fuck about their employees, man, because sooner or later they want it so that they've barely got any employees, or humans anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to stop using these easy access stuff. You just got to go back to supporting your local producer, your local supplier, your local businesses, because without they're the bloodline. Without them, you are literally, beg. You remember that movie? When he says, "Let me, please, can I have some more, sir?" And you're begging them for a scrap of bread. Yeah. Or even worse, Soylent Green. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that old for everyone?
No, I remember that.
There you go. That's where we're heading to this, because Mr. King Charles, right? The other day he kind of put his royal approval of a seal, right, for these genetic creation of a new species, right, for edible food consumption. So they want to create a brand new species, right, of animal, whatever what it is, right, and they want to create it for human consumption because of the climate and because of all this nonsense.
Right. Here's another observation which I've noticed. A bit of a weird one, this, and I haven't got a clue why it's happened. Now, I live in Northwich in Cheshire. Now, in between Northwich and Manchester Airport, you have to go through Knutsford as well as the birds fly. Now, all through the summer, I'm sitting in my garden, I like sitting in the garden, and when the planes come over, because I'm right underneath the flight path, I can literally see the windows from my garden. So what I've noticed is I've been watching these planes getting on, I'm not joking, for 60 years. All the different planes, all the different manufacturers, how they've changed and all the rest of it. But over the last week or two, I've never known this before. They've never, and in these 50 odd years I've been watching planes coming over my house, they have never, no planes have had the landing gear down in Northwich. When they get further to Knutsford, then past Knutsford, what you call Mobley, that's when they put them down. But they've started putting the wheels down before they even get to me. Never done it in 50 years. Does anyone have a theory why that's happening? Is it a security thing? Is it an EMP they're afraid of, and at least the wheels are down? I don't know.
We're currently heightened level of alert, aren't we? So technically we're at war. I mean, Whitehall almost blatantly said that we are at war with Russia. So at wartime, everything is heightened.
So maybe. So do you think that's why the wheels are down earlier?
Maybe. I don't know enough about that to.
No, it's a bizarre one to me. But there must be a reason, because it's never happened in 50 years easy.
Says, yeah, a new pilot.
Painted rust, painted rust. That's a common problem. We see a lot of these places where they're supposed to service and maintain these places, but they don't. They repurpose the money for other things, and they get neglected. And
yeah,
I don't know. Could be a million things. You know what I mean? Unless they're more transparent, they become more transparent, right, about things. We'll never know. Why did we find dead bodies in the on the palace ground? We will never know. Why did we? I mean, how did that person mysteriously die? At the G7 summit. Why don't we know these answers? Because the people don't want us to know, right? And we will never know. Right?
Why did the woman commit suicide when one of the royals had a baby? Do you remember years ago in that private hospital?
And on and on. Yeah, we can sit here and list all of these, I mean, we don't even have to say Diana, But I did. The list is on. These people are, I think the can open, they opened the can of worms with Jeffrey Epstein, right? And then the kill switch went down and panic mode set in. And I think that's what brought us to where we are at today, because they're afraid of losing control. That's my theory.
I agree. Well, not just that, not just losing control, but maybe people finding out what they are. Never mind who they are.
I think they've come to the conclusion that there's far too many of us for them to control efficiently, right? And they don't need us all. So they've determined to exterminate us, good old-fashioned ways, multiple ways, slowly over time, as to not be to have that deniable plausibility. You know what I mean? So, and then you incentivize everybody and turn everybody against each other, and everybody's fucking pretty much arguing and ripping pieces at each other. They do. If we kill each other, then it's half the job for them. So we got gay people, straight people, black people, white people, fat people, skinny people, fucking cats versus dogs. I mean, it never ends. They'll divide us all. They'll convince the pitchfork guy that the torch guy wants to come and take his pitchfork away. It's basically the Hegelian dialectic, the mass psychosis.
Divide and rule, yeah.
And they've done this through your TV, your BBC, or ITV. This, if they didn't have that, they would never have been able to achieve all of this right now. Okay?
Stuart says that they've passed the law in Northern Ireland yesterday. Basically, your organs are for sale unless you opt out. I do believe that's something that's already in place in England anyway. I'm sure it is. Everyone's on the donor list unless you opt out. Could be wrong. but I'm sure that's a thing. Sure, that's a thing.
At this point, I won't be surprised about anything.
Mellows, do you want to quickly talk through this?
Yeah.
That I got up the my apps declassifying browse.
All right, so let's give it a brief. Declassified is a new decentralized video sharing platform where you could live stream on. Currently, you're backing up your entire YouTube channel on there. It's going pretty good at the moment. I'm not sure if you checked it.
Yeah, look, there's something. Like I said, I don't want to open up things that don't need to be seen yet. But we've got our own search engine. Even I'll explain that.
So instead of using your browser to search through your Google, who's going to track and try and profit from your sharing, the sale of your information that it's gathered through whatever it's snooping, tracking, metadata, and whatever bollocks that they want to do. You just use the search engine on the app and track the app on the server. So it's going to track the server. Currently, I mean, I've got an app at the moment on I've installed the VPN. You see the VPN at the bottom. I've installed it on my Android box, and the app that I use to watch
VPN there.
Yeah, the YouTube videos. I still get the ads on it. But instead of getting them in English, I'm getting them in fucking German, right? But when I use a Brave browser, obviously, I don't get no ads on it, so that's cool. Jitsi is a web conferencing tool that you can use to like a Zoom. I don't know if anybody's ever used a Zoom or in a classroom setting style where you can.
We've used Jitsi, haven't we? The best way to explain it. If anyone's seen the other platform that I used to stream to this channel that wasn't StreamYard, we tested it out a couple of times. That's
you
very
can use that stream. It's a way of, instead of using StreamYard to invite your members on a panel like this, you could invite them into your Jitsi room, and you could have I think we've had more than 50 in a Jitsi room at one time, but I think it's set to 200 at the moment, so you could have 200 people in there, no problem. I don't know if I think you can set it to unlimited, but it'd
be a bit hectic. But basically, so you could have 200 people on one panel.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
If you remove the video aspect, and the audio only, then you could have those 200 people, and maybe instead of them talking over each other, like they would have to push to talk. You know what I mean? Like, so they'd press to talk, and then one wouldn't be able to, talk over each other, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's what else is there? There's a forum there that I just installed today that I'm going to work on. There's a Twitter platform, social network. And so that one there, what my idea is for that is it's our own social network, Twitter, decentralized Twitter version of Twitter. But in this one, what you would do is you would post your content, your post on the one platform, which would be this. And then from here, it would be distributed to all or any platform you want it to distribute to simultaneously, right? So no more posting on all these different places, all these things. You just post it in one place, and then it gets sent out to all the other places. Declassified media, we said that. Live stream at the top there, you can...
So we didn't really speak about declassified, really. So what's declassified?
Declassified media is a decentralized version of YouTube. So, in other words, you can upload your videos, you can live stream directly to it, and share just like you do with YouTube, with the difference of there's no ads, and there's no you don't even have to register. In fact, there is no registration at the moment because it's off, but you can watch all the videos that are there. So if you shared a link to one of your videos to somebody, they can watch it there.
Yeah. And that's where all your content from your YouTube channel would be backed up to, would be this declassified.
Yeah. So as soon as you know, as soon as you log in, you create your channel, you would synchronize your YouTube channel by copying and pasting your channel link into it, and it'll automatically draw all your videos over to the server and back them up, and then you can share them and distribute them from there. The next one to that is called the cloud. So that's a quite a neat one, that one is. So that'll synchronize all your devices, right? So my idea behind that is, say you've just taken a live, not live, you're recording to YouTube, right? And sometimes you get that bad connection. You get all that pixelated video, and the audio gets cut out sometimes. But in this case, you would record your video as you would normally record without going live, where you get the best quality. And then as soon as you stop the recording, it will automatically sync with your server, your cloud, and back up to the server. So, you know, even if you did have your phone seized, you know what I mean? You know, you still have the video on the server to edit and upload by the evening. So that it'd be pointless, because nowadays when they seize your phone, it's because they don't want that phone. They basically stop you from using that video.
Big up, Tim, mate.
For months, sometimes years, right?
Yeah.
And that could, you know, potentially there's evidence on there that, you know, proves your innocence, and they will, you know, deny and withhold and mess people about for that video, for it, you know, through their legal loopholes that they create. So this just literally just takes that out of the ball game, you know.
Yeah.
There's a downloader there, which basically any video you see you want to download, you just copy the URL into it, it'll just suck it straight to your device. And of course, if your device is synced to the server, it will just automatically send it to the server. Element there is like our own WhatsApp call. I mean, if you know what WhatsApp is, messenger service, that's our own little WhatsApp server. So we can, at the moment, it's just us who use that server, but we can link it to other servers and, you know, make it a much wider, make it more public, or make it more visible to others to use it. Next to that, the BB one, that's a forum. I've just installed that today. I plan on using it 2 different ways. I'm not sure yet. The A underneath is a music box. Basically, it just stores all your music, favorite playlists. You can listen to it anywhere on any device. There is another app that is not on there at the moment, which is the MB one, which is basically will allow us to create our own Roku channel, like or Android Fire Stick. So you'll be able to live stream and share your videos that you've just synced to declassified media straight onto a Roku device or a Fire Stick or Android TV box or any device, any device, wherever. Office is like MS documents. If you want to collaborate with some of your team members, maybe if you want to add people to use it, however you want to use it, it's basically documents online. I just thought it might come in handy for something. I use it anyway. What else is there? Search engine, project. At the bottom is a project management tool. If anyone out there is familiar with Trello, that's like our own little Trello platform where you can create and manage projects with it. It's quite handy. At the bottom, the Sogo is a webmail calendar, some type of app. So our intentions with that would be to create our own encrypted version of like a Proton Mail sort of thing, you know, where you've got your own, you'll have your own, you know, emails basically. And that pretty much covers that. I mean, there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more. There's a lot. I need people who can code. I need people who can work with WordPress websites, I need people who can do graphic design. I need people who've got some balls to roll their sleeves up and get stuck in, right? Because I'm not just building this for myself. I don't want to become the next Mark Zuckerberg. I'm building this for us, right? For all of us. This is a owner-operated platform, you know. So this is a decentralized platform. I don't know if you guys are familiar with decentralization. So it's many servers connected as one, right? So when we have one, like Declassified Media, with all of its thousands of videos that's already on there, when we connect that to another platform, like that one, another PeerTube platform, for instance, and that has thousands of videos, we're automatically sharing those videos between those two websites. You know?
Sounds like the blockchain.
It's
similar.
We could very easily introduce a blockchain wallet system into this, but I'm still exploring those options, and I don't want to go down a route that I'm not completely. I put it this way, right? We are seriously lacking in team power,
manpower mainly, isn't it? Let's be honest.
And resources. You know, we need people, you know, willing to get involved. You want your own TV platform, you want your own radio station, you want your own fucking Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. This is the only way. Make it yourself, man. Have your own communities, build your own platforms, have your own fucking media speaking, and bring truth to power yourself. You know, expose them for what they really are, because they're not going to do it. If we're going to sit around and debate whether, you know, the government should do this and the government should do that, the government should go and hang itself, as far as I'm concerned, because every single one of them are complicit in crimes of treason, crimes against humanity, war crimes. The list is endless. Democide, fucking whatever you want to.
That's why the declassified would be handy, you know, for people that like to live stream and go into deeper conversations about things. Because again, it's one of those where you could start up a short live on your main platform, give everyone direction over to, say, declassified, and then there you really can speak as openly, well, do you know what I mean, as freely as you want, without the fear of being shut down.
You don't like my platform? Go and build yourself one, man. I'll even show you how to do it. Right? This isn't for me. Right?
I think that's where, like, I don't know, but I wonder if sometimes get that kind of idea that, oh, look, this is all about someone trying to profit off the back of everybody else.
I've not once asked for not even a donation.
No, that's what I'm trying to explain, so that people know that it, like, we spoke about this the other day, didn't we? And it's just not like that at all. It's not there for any one individual, but as a whole, everyone, you know.
Yeah.
Right, it sounds aspiring, and I'm gonna go now and go back to the comments. It's been a
big up, Wayne. Thanks for coming on, bro. And you had some valid points. Appreciate you coming on, mate.
It was a privilege to be on the show. Cheers.
No, thanks, bro. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day, pal.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on, mate. So yeah, like I say, there is stuff we are working on. Stuff we are working on stuff, and this is again, it's definitely for you, Mellows. What, 2 years in the making? Definitely, a lot of this.
There's a lot of projects, man, and there's very few hands. I mean,
But what are we looking for? We're just looking for like-minded people to come together, yeah? Whether it be content creators, whether it be somebody... Because like Monk was trying to basically put this across earlier. He spoke about it before. He's right. You know, it's like in this community or so what, or these people that come in these live streams and stuff, a lot of people do good for people, man. You got Pablo. Pablo's done Mia intro recently. I think he's done Monk one. He's gone out of his way to do one for Shorty. You've got people like Anne-Marie that have been doing like logos for people's channels for them. Like, people have got all these good little skills, And if like people come together a little bit more, man, like that, do be quite powerful. Imagine what we could do with that.
Yeah.
Everyone, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Something you can't do, the next person can do. And if you're involved, interested in getting involved in any project, that's what it is. Really, it's a project. It's a vision of something, and again, as Mello said, because this is Mello's. This is Mello's. It's not mine. It's not. It's a couple of individuals with Mello's, and they've worked very hard on this. And it always has been for Mello.
This wouldn't have been possible without, like Nick, for instance.
No, Nick, for instance, no, definitely not.
Or even Graham.
In fact, Nick's probably at work or asleep now because he's over across the pond. But we'll have to get him on at some point. But with people like yourself, Mellows, and this isn't me blowing smoke up your ass, and people like Nick, right? But you're never in any rush to. Hey, look at me! I've done all this. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with Nick. Nick's happy doing what he does.
What I want is, look, I can't do what you do. I can't get a camera and go and expose these fuckers. Because believe me, when I was able to do, I was doing my fair share, man.
Big up, Tim.
But what I do now, I do what I can, man. I do what I can from where I am. Like I can't remember who's quoted it. You do the best you can with whatever you have, right where you are, right? And I'm disabled. I'm not able to go out and do things, so I sit here and I use my abilities to help people, help as many people as I can. I mean, there's a guy there. There's a really important website. There's a whole show. We can just talk about it, Yeah. And we should bring him on the show as well, so he could talk about his projects. You know what I mean? There are other people as well, like Fritz. I mean, I don't want to throw names because some people get upset. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people that I work with, and I've helped over the years, and I do this because what they do, and the help they need, no one's willing to do it for them. No one's willing to help them. No one's willing to show them. No one's willing to teach them. So, I'm not the sort of person that will walk by and see someone that needs some help and not reach out my hand and fucking help them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the humane thing to do, right? If I can do something to help someone, I'll do it. You need a fucking website. I make websites like I eat packets of crisps.
And that's no lie. I see that with, like I say, things like, and again, it's not about blowing smoke up your ass, but to try to get across to people, even things like my website and things, they wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the likes of you that had helped me do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
and I'll be honest as well, like, let's be honest, I don't know if anyone knows anything about websites, but you could take, although mine needs a little bit of updating and a little bit of tweaking and stuff, redesigning. If you look at that, what I'm saying is what people, no, but if you were to go away and pay a web designer to do that,
it costs you thousands of pounds.
It would have cost me exactly no end of thousands of pounds that I just don't have to do that. And that's what I'm trying to get across.
I used to charge thousands of pounds to people. I know what the fuck prices are. It's not that I'm stupid. I don't know the prices.
No, this is why. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm
doing this because I'm genuinely like what you do, right? Auditors in particular. I've said this many times on many lives. If you're an auditor and you need help, like you need to, back up your website, make a website. You need to back up your YouTube channel because you're afraid that they're going to shut you down or they're going to delete your channel or you've had privacy complaints or something like that. Reach out to me, man. I mean, this is what I do. I've said to many auditors across the world, especially American auditors. I've built many websites for auditors in America. I'm here to help you guys, man. I can't do what you can do. I'm not going to sit there and bung money into your pocket, money that I don't have. But I have skills, I have abilities that I can use. I can put to some use, and I'm not the only person here. There's thousands of people like me that do what I do. We just need to be more organized, and we need to come together and treat this as a real threat to our fuck democracy, our humanity, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? This is do or die. Failure is not an option for us, right? We have to all chip in. We have to all get up and do something. Share some video. Speak about something. Stand up for some. When you see someone's doing something, you know, they shouldn't be doing. You know, when they're hurting somebody, when they fucking, when you see somebody getting unlawfully arrested, even if you don't like the person, to cheer that he is getting arrested is to cheer that you will be getting arrested tomorrow. Do you understand that? What they do to another person, the injustice done to someone is injustice done to all of us.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is where we need to, you know, separate the men with the spines and the women with the fucking balls, because they've got balls.
Can I just say with what you're saying there as well, so people got a bit of an idea, and they'll probably go, "Oh, here we go." But take the Julian Assange thing, yeah. What's happened to him has happened to you, even though it might not have happened directly. That is an attack on you, every single one of us.
It's by proxy. It's you they put in prison and shut your mouth up for all of that time. Yeah? Because why? Because he told the truth about these lying bastards. And they're going to throw him in jail without committing a crime in this country. Isn't that unlawful? I mean, we don't have enough money in the fucking treasury to pay this guy compensations for the fucking treatment that he's had in all these years we've had him locked up. Think about that. Talk about reparations.
Big up, Tim, mate. I do hope you're well, bro. I do hope you're well, mate.
You know, you don't like my group? Fine. Make your own group, man. You don't want to make a group? Fine. Do something, man. Get up, get out there, and fucking expose that corruption, because that's all you can do. I mean, I'm not telling you to go and, you know, I'm not advocating, you know, violence or, you know, aggression or anything like that. That's stupid shit. I mean, if I would, just look what I'm doing. I'm trying to build us our own fucking platform where we're not tracking our shit and we're not fucking stealing our information. We're not selling that information to them. We're not trying to control anybody. We just want to be free to speak and do what the fuck we want to do without these people trying to fuck with us. Right? And I want to make that available to everybody. I'm not going to become rich by doing that. Of course not. It's a fucking fool's task. You know, and I can't do it alone.
No, I definitely do need people to get on board. Like I say, whether it be content creators, someone that likes sitting there in their own time and putting some designs together. If anyone knows anything about web design or knows a little bit but wants to know more.
You know,
if there's anyone that's interested, that's never been interested before, thinking, hang on, Mellows, thinking, oh, I might be interested in doing that. But again, reach out to myself. I'll put you in touch with Mellows, or reach out to Mellows. And
if you want to learn, you know, I'm willing to teach you. You know what I mean? I would rather teach you to fish rather than sit here and cook a whole load of fucking fish for everyone. You know, I'll teach you to do this shit yourself, man. You know, go run your own website. Like I'll build your website like I eat packets of crisps, like I said. But you're gonna have to learn how to manage it and maintain it and update it and run it yourself, because I can't do everything. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
I don't even know if I can. Hang on, I'll stop sharing that a minute. Let me have a look. Declassified. Surely it would be still sending everything over, right?
Yeah, still going, man. It'll take a few hours before it sucks. 300 and how many videos? How many gigabytes is that? It's gonna be a bit. It's gonna take a while.
It's not showing anything up now, though.
It's showing on my side.
Is it?
Yeah, but if you remember that little drop-down thing, because it's saying hide sensitive content. So click that and then display all. Let me see them.
Display.
There you go.
And then I still can't see it. How weird. That's strange.
I see him here, man. I'm subscribed. I'm your first subscriber.
I know. I see. Here we are. Here we are.
Yeah, it's hiding. It automatically hides sensitive content, so you got to click the display all.
Okay.
Welcome, Jay. You wait until you see what we got planned, man. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, big up, Jay. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed it, man. Glad you enjoyed it. A lot of it just me banging on, putting the world to rights, but but definitely, this stuff, guys. Reach out to Mellows, man. Like, geez, more people. Already done good things, and it's taken a while, but it definitely needs more hands on board, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're just that forum that I installed today. Imagine, it's not just building a forum, because I've run a busy forum before. I had moderators and admin. I had I think 27 moderators and admin at one point. And they were harder to manage. They were like a bunch of school kids, do you know what I mean? Like in a playground.
There we are,
harder to the actual members. So it's difficult, you've got to bring in the right people with the right temperament. You give somebody moderator power and all of a sudden he becomes God, you know what I mean?
There we are, Mellows. Expert.org is saying, I want to learn, but my website is not an auditing website. It's to expose Pret and Manga. I'm not an auditor.
Just reach out, man. Come over to Jitsi and we'll have a chat and you can discuss it more in detail, man.
Should put the link out there, Grimsy.
Reach out to Grim. He's got all the links.
Grim's the other main man. Grim, Nick.
He is the main man. Without Grim, all of this would be just a pipe dream.
Mellows. All approachable, even for a Grim Reaper. Even for a Grim Reaper, he's approachable. Dog agrees.
Dog wants to go downstairs. You know what? If you give me a few minutes, I'll be back in a minute. If you got something to chat about when I'm gone or whatever.
Well, no, we'll have a little time out for us there. Anyone wants to join? There's the link. I'm just going to play a little video. In fact, Grim will put this one together for me. This is an old one. We'll play a couple of little clips.
All right, I'm going to mute up because this.
Jeez. So we got in here. Also worth me saying, big up to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I haven't made a big deal of it like last year, but it's actually been 2 years since I've had my channel now. 2 years since I've had my channel. A couple of days ago that passed. So yeah, for 2 years, we've got the old 2-year anniversary. Whoop, whoop. Big up to all of you guys that have supported the channel along the way. I do appreciate you guys. Means a lot. And yeah, the content's been lacking a little bit recently. Just a lot of stuff going on. I've been busy with some other stuff that I've had to take care of. But hopefully, as from next week, we are back out filming. Got a few places lined up. Got Wales lined up. Yeah, there's a few places lined up. What order I'm going to do it in yet, I'm not too sure. but there's definitely some content coming very soon, and we're going to be a lot more consistent throughout the summer. So look forward to that. And again, for you guys that are subbed and probably like, oh, he hasn't really been posting much recently, I'll just say apologies and cheers for being patient and sticking in, sticking old in there and that, and waiting for the next lot. I do appreciate it. I haven't really been doing these live streams either. Like I say, I'm going to look at doing these a little bit more, holding them in the same way, structured topics, open up the panels for people to discuss. We'll also have some lives where it's not necessarily topics and it's just a little bit of banter, because at the end of the day, that's why we're all here in it, for a little bit of fun and socializing as well. So there'll be that. Got a few other good things lined up as well that are in the making at the minute, regarding live streams and content coming to you through lives as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that will be coming sooner rather than later. Going to visit Tim. I will be. I will pop past and see Tim while I'm there. Cheeky sprite. I sure will. We won't obviously get him on camera, but we'll definitely get him behind the camera and get him to come and do an audit with me. That would be interesting. I've done it with Andrew J. Andrew J. come on an audit with me. We've done Swansea Police Station. So we'll definitely get Tim doing one. Tim, as in Tim Draycott, you'll have to let me know when you're through this way. I know you're on your travels and things. Well overdue a catch-up, mate. So let me know when you're nearby. But yeah. Yeah, Jay, we tried to keep it that way. It's the best way. Best way, keep it nice. Not everyone might get on, but everyone seems to either get on in here, or if they don't like each other, they ignore one another, which is a good thing, I guess. But nah, everyone's cool in here. Absolutely everybody is cool in here. So you ain't got to worry about that. People are always welcome up on the panel. No peripheral treatment for anybody. Yeah, everyone's equal on here, so don't think that the moderators will get any more leniency than someone else comes in just because they're a moderator. It is a level playing field for everyone in here, and all we ask really is that you just keep it respectful. Opinions will clash at times, and that's fine, but there's a way to voice those opinions rather than attack one another. And then what happens is when you start attacking each other, just the whole point of what you're trying to debate goes out the window anyway. And from that point on, you're never going to meet in the middle. So it's better done like that, and I think anyway, and it's slightly better controlling it in that manner makes it better for you viewers as well. As I know as a viewer, sometimes when something's kicking off on the panels or there's people going at one another, I know it can become a little bit uneasy for people in the chat. It makes people feel uncomfortable. So again, that's the reason why I think if you control it a little bit, then it kind of eliminates that, and it becomes somewhere where everyone can come and feel like they're not going to be attacked or judged or any of the above.
I'm back, mate. By the way.
Big up, Mellows. Some are less equal than others. Lol. Big up.
I can't argue with that.
It's a fair point. What's that? Near Shetlands, I still have your pebbles from Spain and Portugal, BBA, you requested 3 months ago. Shaz loves us, always here travelling until we meet. Big up, bro. We will. We're definitely soon. We'll sort something out, man. Definitely. Being polite gets you further. Ah, it does, doesn't it? So they say, anyway. So they say.
Honeypot.
Can you put Mello's link out? I will sub. Yeah, can someone put Mello's link out?
Eyes on your
one of the moderators put eyes on the order out, Mellows. If you can do it, you're a mod in here, I think, aren't you? Should be.
I need to start using it. Well, it's either I'm going to be bloody making YouTube videos or I'm going to do this.
Still, at least with that, at the very least, then if anyone wants to reach out, that they can always leave a comment on a video. You'll get it, and you know what I mean. Pardon?
I can't reach the box. I've got zoomed in so much because I'm blind. I can't see the bottom of the to reply. Yeah.
There you go. UK Transparency, Sean. What am I doing now? Calling you Sean? That's fucking. You know, it don't take a lot to confuse me, UK John. You know that. You've met me on Ample. You know me, in fact. You know what I mean? You know, it don't take a lot to confuse me. All this name changing, man, malarkey. Can't keep up. Tim's a mod. Tim is a super mod. Tim is a super mod. Spanners all over the gaff. Is that the correct link? Hang on. Someone will put the link out in a minute when they find it.
Post it. I'll put it in the private chat, but it won't show me the box.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll copy link address. There. Is that all right?
Yeah, I see.
Mellows, take over a minute, just on the phone.
Oh shit! I'm not good at juggling. How can I entertain you guys? What was we talking about? Let's see what the chat's saying. Yeah, I haven't really put out many YouTube videos. I think the last ones we've done was a few live panels on a new server that I was testing out. Saying what? Hello, chat. By the way, hello to everyone in the chat. For everyone I know, everyone who doesn't know me yet. Probably, there's a reason why I don't really jump in the limelight. It takes up too much time. So, yeah, did you all like what you saw? The app, the new app. There's some new things coming up soon with that. There's a new app that I'm working on for that will work with any smart TV, Android TV box, Roku device, or Fire Stick, and you'll be able to watch Bear's live stream directly onto your TV. So fuck the BBC, right? It needs them. Imagine if you had enough content creators, all your favorite ones, all just there playing on your TV instead of BBC. You know? Dyslexic. Yeah. There's a lot more to it. I just tried to give a brief overview, but there's so much more to it. There's so much you can do with it. It just depends on your needs, I suppose. And each account that has access to that server has its own panel, so he will be able to see whatever apps that's installed, tailored to him or them or her or it, or whatever it is you identify as. I like the synchronization from app to app. It gives you a backup drive to all your devices simultaneously, so you'd be able to switch from tablet to phone to PC effortlessly, whatever file you want, whether it's a document or a video file or whatever. So if you've recorded the document, or if you've saved the document, or if you've received an email and you want to save it, you can back it up to your cloud and access it from any device anywhere. It's kind of handy, I just thought it might be handy for auditors who are constantly having their mobile phones seized. The recording would be backed up the moment they stop recording, and that would be the end of that. They won't be able to use that one. So I know there's existing services at the moment, but all of these services that I've kind of all put into one app is they're fucking expensive, right? By the time you pay £10 for this, £20 for that, £50 for this, £20 for that, £30 for this, you need a mortgage, right? How much money do they want? By the time you need a job just to pay for the job, the shit you need for the job that you need to do, and then you need another job to pay for your mortgage, right? Never-ending rat race. So they put everything behind a paywall and out of our reach, right? So I aim to equal the playing field as much as I can, for as many people as we can. If we have multiple decentralized platforms like this, what are they going to do? There's millions of us. What are they going to do now? We have to throw
that bloody time.
There he is.
I've had to sneak out to get on here.
Good. I'm sorry, I can't have. I don't know what to do. I can't add you or anything.
No, I know you can't. It's that fucking BBA, isn't it?
Yeah, he's gone off somewhere.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'm juggling, so I'm glad you're here. And
he's probably exercising his left or his right hand.
Yeah, he's doing something.
To say he's a big one, you know what I mean? Although, who was it who said he couldn't get it up?
He did. He walked right into that one. He was all by himself.
It was terrible because there was people around me talking to others, right? And I started laughing because I'm the only one who can hear, obviously. And what the hell I was laughing at? I said, "Oh, you don't want to know." It's one of those X-rated YouTube shows, this. So I've not spoken to you for a few days. How are you doing?
I know you've been busy, man. I'm okay. I'm pulling my hair out as usual.
That's all right. Nothing else changes.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, if you need me, you know where I am. It's just been tied up for the last few days. Tomorrow night's show should be fun. When I take apart a couple of Americans.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. On one of those.
Bit of crap that they are doing. I've got to try and keep that YouTube friendly. That'll be interesting. I may have to go over to somewhere else.
Declassified is up. We can use Rumble.
Yeah, I can also use a new one I've signed up to as well, which is Kick. Never heard of it before, but I found somebody else on there. Yeah, I got Odyssey, but I saw out of them recording it. But I like, and then putting it on. Sorry, mate.
Odyssey, you earn crypto over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you earn it from day one. Do you know what I mean? So you don't have to wait until you get fucking 10,000 subscribers before they give you a penny.
Yeah, well, that's the same on a few channels.
And it'll rob you as well.
Yeah. So, hello to everybody in the chat and those who don't know me. You probably don't want to either. I've got a bit of a low wit problem. as BBA has found out in the past. Pretty well he's buggered up, you know, because he knew it was coming up.
He wanted to let you in. He knew he'd let you in.
He let me in, but rather than speak to me, you know, some host ears. Even at least Tim Smith, when I go on to his, or even go to Monks, they say hello.
You need Sean. You need a good connection, man. You need a very good connection, and just these commercial lines that you get for home use. You'll be able to stream out to a server, but to use that as a connection into your server, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle when you have multiple users trying to tune in to view you, because they'll be all sucking your bandwidth.
Yeah, regrettably, I can't see the chat at the moment.
Oh, right. So his comment was, we've got a couple of questions. Any ideas about streaming good quality back to a home PC? Eliminate the need to seize equipment as no evidence on them. Well, yeah, you
cloud
can.
Storage.
Yeah, you can. You can stream straight to the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is basically what we've just done. What I've just showed you there is what is the cheapest way I've been able to put it together for us. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's paying for expensive services and servers.
Yeah, we've been down that route in the past, and it's all right if you got the backing or you got a lot of people. I mean, for argument's sake, if there's say 10 people putting a £5 in each month, that goes towards the cost of the server. But it's getting people who are that committed to do it. And the other problem is breaking away from YouTube.
Like the streaming server we set up was beautiful, right? It was everything we wanted.
Big up, Graham, mate. Sorry.
Ready to go.
Busy.
It would do all of that. Technically, what you could do is you could set up IP cameras off the fly, add them to the stream, and broadcast them to anywhere. We can do that with this system. So if we go back to that, I don't know if there's back. You can put that screen back up. There's a
I can. What screen? You want what screen? Do you want back up, mate?
You know, there's a live stream app there. The live stream.
Hang on, mate. Bear with me.
So in the apps, there is one there, so that you would be able to stream directly to anywhere. So that there, where it says live stream next to accounts. So
yeah,
that's our own streaming server. Yeah. So aside from declassified media, that's on the right, we have our own live streams server. So what you would do is you'd connect to that and then embed that to any other site or stream it to wherever you want to stream it to. So if you wanted to stream it to the cloud, right, the easier way would be just to record without live streaming, because you'll get a better quality. But if you're going to live record, then you could use that and then record it straight to a cloud storage, for instance. And so the answer to Sean's question was yes. We have we have that capability.
The other thing you can do is with a Jitsi room is if you wanted to record a group of people having a conversation and put it out on somewhere, you can do without terms of service. Terms of service are pain, to say the least. Because no matter what you say or do, whichever provider you're using will have their own terms of service, and depends on when and how they enforce those terms. We don't have any terms of service. We just ask people to be respectful and to make sure that it's legal.
It's owner operated, so the onus is on you, right? at the end of the day, you know.
I just keep stressing though. Seriously, people, anyone's interested, reach out to you because you ain't gonna find a better, decent two people willing to give you their time and help you with something, right, than these two. Grim and Melon. I mean that as well, genuinely.
I learned from nothing. I hadn't a clue about any of this a couple of years ago. Had a couple of conversations with Mellows, and we've been in cahoots ever since, trying to sort something out for everybody to use. But the biggest thing is to move away from YouTube.
I can guarantee you one thing that you'll take away from this is that you will learn something new. I guarantee you.
I don't even see it as stepping away from YouTube. I just see it as an alternative, and
something that puts you back into the driving seat, right?
Yeah. It's a bit of a safety net, you know. Like I say, your channel goes tomorrow. You've still got everything backed up on declassified. You've still got somewhere where if you can reach out to your audience, you can still do all the things that you wanted to do at that precise moment while you then built a channel again. You know, everything's in there. The live streaming side of things, how much do people pay for StreamYard every month? You know, to have 10 people on your panel with a limited amount of features on there. You know, again, this live streaming platform has all of that. I think the only thing that you doesn't have is I can't do this. I can't do this. This is the only thing that's different is I just cannot put comments up on the screen. Other than that, there's so many more features on there.
Because I haven't installed an app that will let you do that. We need to.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
The find will make an app to do it, and then we've got it. You know, otherwise,
exactly.
You don't really need it at the moment. So
at the moment, but that's what I mean. Where you're at the moment, look, it's fantastic. Like I was saying, these are things that you can look to add, or you know, and only from people using it and getting on board are you going to get the feedback that you need in order to make those tweaks if they need making.
Yeah, well, this is what we're after: is people to use it, so that they can let us know how it's going for them and what they would like. That way we can look to see whether or not we can get it and try and get it at the lowest possible cost at the end of the day. But hopefully with a little more people join us, and we can put things together a little bit quicker, because at the moment it is at a snail's pace. Only because
it does need more hands, doesn't it? It does need more hands on board.
We need more bodies, more people to start using it, more creators to start using it, and to run, if you like, private streams. It makes no difference. You know, if you want a place where you want to rant and rave about whatever's going on, you can do without worrying about, oh, I can't say that word in case I insult someone. You know, or I might get a strike if I start playing music or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Maybe you just want to have a private conversation with a group of people, your friends.
Yeah. Oh, just on a similar point, over on the Grim Reaper website, there is an open Jitsi room. Anyone can go in at any time.
Yeah, the Jitsi thing. The to those that will know what I'm on about, and we won't go there, but the so-called secret, private, public, private, secret, private, public room.
Yeah, that's on the
know what I'm on about. Those that know what I'm on about know. Those that are like, what the fuck did he just say? Don't worry about it.
It's a joke.
Just know it's there for everybody. It's not
if you go to the Grim Reaper Radio Show.com and go to meeting room, you'll see the secret room. You can go in there and just have a chat. It's so secret, we keep advertising it on YouTube.
Yeah, but don't tell anybody. It's a secret.
Not worth it. Listen, guys, I'm going to have to go and say I hopped out to say hello. I didn't want to You're thinking I was being
yeah,
horrible.
Need you on here. Need people to know where to go. Again, Grim
Right.
Reaper.
I shall catch you all again soon. In the meantime, everyone take care.
Speak soon,
And
mate.
nice chatting to you for a few minutes. Ta-ra
care,
for now. Bye.
Big up, Grim. Legend. Legend in the game, old Grim, tell you. Legend, man. But yeah. So yeah, go on. Sorry, mate.
You know, if you even if you want to learn something, you know, if you don't know how to do something, you know, as long as you're serious, and you know, if you've got, you know, half the will to want to try something.
Mrs. Optical, if you're still here, hello,
I've
sweet.
been-
I hope you're well.
Hi.
Sorry, I didn't see you in the chat. I really do hope you're well. Wasn't being ignorant. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's one person. That's one person I want on board. I've said this to you about 100 times. I think I've mentioned him before. But Optical Turnkey.
I think I've spoken to him once or twice.
Optical Turnkey. I would love to get Optical Turnkey on board, man. He's very creative, and it needs. Oh, you've only got to go look at his channel, man. He's very creative. He's good at what he does. I'd love for him to get on board, to be honest. So, Optical Turnkey, if you're listening, reach out to me, buddy. I want you to get involved in this, man. Because he needs to start putting some content together as well. He's a good content creator, Optical. I had a little chat with him, and yeah. What about Jim Smith, BBA? Yeah, and that Jim Smith. Big up Jim Smith all day long, isn't it? Jim Smith, the lovable rogue. That's what you are, Jim Smith. You're the lovable rogue. I see you, buddy. No, joking. Big up, Jim Smith. Big up, bro. Big up Outlaw King as well. Big up all yourselves, man. Jim Smith, Tim, Jay. I know we moved away from the Phillips Scope Field. Some of you might not even be interested in what we're talking about, really, but I do appreciate you sticking around. But honestly, good things going on. And it'd be nice to see other people get on board. And it's all constructive, you know. It's all constructive rather than sitting there and being about toxic shit and all that shit that don't really matter. It's something productive, man, and constructive. And yeah. It's actually good fun, and as I say, we've got our own little jitsi room where we all we're in there every day, and we're talking or working on things and that. And again, it's not always serious. We'll sit there and have the banter. We'll sit there and watch bloody God knows videos, films, and all sorts while we're doing what we're doing. Right? I think there's not much we haven't done in jitsi, right?
There's not much we haven't seen.
Well, I don't know about that. But no, definitely. With being serious, man, there's not a lot we ain't done in there, really, is there? We've watched films in there. We've back in held live streams from there to the channels. We've held private, not private, but ones where we haven't gone live and we've just opened the room and invited people over. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. Even that, man, if anyone's ever interested and even just wants to come in for a chat, like I say, it's nothing live. It'll only be us in there, and it's a bit like a Zoom meeting. You ain't got to have your camera on or nothing like that. If you ever want to come in and have a chat about any of the things that we're talking about and actually get a bit of maybe a little bit more of a better insight, then just reach out to me, email or whatever, and I'll send you. It's literally a link. I'll send you a link. Hit that link. And it will just take you straight to the room that we have on Jitsi. And all right. Anyone's welcome, man. Anyone, don't matter who you are. Come in, turn around and saying, my name's Bob. Hello, my name's Bob. How are you? And you'll be back with a nice welcome and all that. So don't think, oh, that's weird. Me just going into I don't know anyone. No, man. Come in. Say, yeah. You said about dropping in and all good. What email? My email is Bear Britain Audits 21. So Bear Britain Audits 21 at gmail.com. In fact, There we are. That's correct email. What you see there on the screen is correct email. You can get me on that one. Thanks, Outlaw King, bro. It's on the banner as well and on the About page. And if you go to my YouTube channel and go to the About page, there's all the relevant links like my Facebook link, my Instagram link, my TikTok link, the link to the website. They're all there in the About page on my channel. So if you go to the About page, you will find them all there. Every link's there. Just clickable links as well. So you just push them and it will take you directly to them. And to be fair, any of those platforms, apart from TikTok, because I don't really use it, you'll be able to get hold of me. So whether you message me on Instagram, Facebook, any of those, you'll be able to get hold of me. Have I got Twitter? I don't have Twitter, and the only reason I don't have Twitter, Jim, is because I never fucking like the look of I don't know. I just don't really get it. I know that sounds really weird, but I don't get it. I don't get how to use Twitter, man.
Well, we'll have our own Twitter version of it.
But yeah, we'll have our own version soon. So that, well, I say soon, it's there. That social network that you can see on the screen there.
So
that there.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, that will that's going to be basically that, and you guys will then be able to all use that and see things getting posted on there. And it again, you're not got to worry about being fucking shut down through what you say.
There's also like with Elements, for instance, that you see there, that WhatsApp thing, that we have the ability of building a bridge to things like Telegram and Discord and stuff like that. So you could, from here, you'd be able to communicate with your Discord, your WhatsApp, your Telegram members, your chat, whatever, from there. And we tested it on Fake Mike the other week, remember?
Yeah, and that's the other thing as well. Like, again, I spoke about this before. It sounds a little bit cheesy, a little bit corny, but I'm just being straight with you. Quick rundown. I basically fucking got into auditing a long time. Well, I say got into it. I started watching auditing a long time ago, US auditing. It originated in the US. That's where I started watching it. I come across someone called Fake Mike Real News, known as now, but at the time probably Demand the Truth. Was his channel, and I followed these guys in America, right? And then some years later, when certain things have gone on here, I was like, I wonder if there's any UK auditors, which is where I then found UK auditing. But I was always a big fan of Fake Mike Real News, right? Now, God knows how many years from when I used to watch him, like binge watch his stuff with Audit in America. I dare say, I think Mellows, you'd probably agree, a lot of Audit in America's stuff wouldn't have even been, that channel wouldn't have been what it was without Fake Mike. Would you agree with that? I think so anyway. But
I'd be biased if I gave my opinions, but Will's a good friend of mine, and
they're both cool guys. But I just think back in the early days, he had a big role in that channel, man. He had a big role.
I think he had something like 36,000 or something like that. So he was still quite a big channel for.
And I liked his stuff, like because Fake Mike, right? When like your average auditor, cops and stuff, this guy would go stick it on like members of government and stuff like that. Really enjoyed his stuff. Then I come to auditing. And I get introduced to the guy, like on a panel, just panelists, blah, blah, blah. Now, 2 years on, or I've been, for a little while now, I've been working with him and friends with him. But now I'm sat working with the guy. And it's really strange because, again, he's no celebrity or anything like that. He's just somebody that I used to watch, followed massively. Some guy from over the pond, don't know him, just enjoy his content. And now, a few years later, I'm actually sat in Jitsi with him working on these projects and coming up with ideas. It's crazy, man. Proper crazy. So, there's all those guys as well from over the pond, recognizable names, big channels that are also part of the team we have. It's a good little team, man. And we're all like-minded.
Yeah, this is a global problem which needs a global effort, right? And I think, you know, if it's so difficult to bring people together on a massive scale because of so much division that's been drawn to, you know, infiltration, division, and the rest of it. I think it's better that we don't all come together under one giant umbrella that they can crush more easily. I think it's better that we are more decentralized and more. It's definitely gives them more work to do anyway. You know, but yes, we do need to come together, and this is a global effort. We have to somehow, you know.
Can we play this? I know Will don't mind. I already have Will's permission. I don't usually without, but as I say, I work with Will, and Will said to me many a times, "You're." So I'm going to show you something of Will's now. Actually, we've put his link out, so let's get it. Hang on, let's stop sharing that one.
Where's Roger Hop from? He's from the Netherlands, isn't it? He's not from Germany.
We're working on a story. You can't assault people.
Latino for Eric. Then later in a career.
All right, so
you want to rewind this?
Yeah, you're not supposed to go into a private place and solicit a trespass. You can't do that.
We're here. He's here working.
I understand, but you have no business in there right now.
What?
Another collaboration. We're here in beautiful Portsmouth, New Hampshire, outside of an event center which will remain nameless, and we are waiting for Kamala Harris to arrive. Now, Kamala Harris claims that she was smoking weed back in college to Pac and Snoop and Dre, but those artists weren't even out when she was in college. Then later in her career, she locked up thousands of people for smoking weed, and then she laughed about it. She also claims that she's going to disavow any lobbying money or any money from super PACs. However, she's taken more than any other Democratic candidate. So as soon as she gets here, we're going to ask her the tough questions. The media won't. Stay tuned.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Thank you very much.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
That always cracks me up. Get your arm off me, you peasant.
Lobbyists,
You
but you've taken more.
can't assault people.
Any response? How are you? I'm doing great. How are you? I'm not doing too good, actually. Okay. All right. Because this lady laughed about smoking weed, right? And then she put thousands of people in jail for smoking weed. She laughed about it, and she said she listened to Snoop and Dre while she did it in college. Snoop and Dre weren't even out. So this lady right here, Kamala Harris, put people in jail for weed and laughed about smoking weed. She's a criminal. That woman is a criminal. How dare you? Shame on you folks. She laughed about people smoking weed. Her smoking weed and other people. How's it going?
Next number, please.
Yep. This is a public lobby. That guy actually, one of these dudes in here actually assaulted me.
You're in a public
Please
space.
don't touch me too, okay? People have been touching me.
Listen.
I am in a public space, I know.
You're in a public space.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have the legal right to ask you to leave.
You do, but I also have the legal right
Well, we're in a public
refuse.
area
We're
right
in a
now.
public area.
Disturbing the peace, and I have the
No,
legal right.
we're not
disturbing the
disturbing
peace.
Yeah, so expert.org, auditing and journalism go together. They overlap. Of course, they go together. They both operate under free press.
Of course they do, man. I've said this 1,000 times.
And since we've got no more journalists with the balls, right? All we have is, you know, self-proclaimed auditors with balls willing to go out there and disseminate the fucking truth because no one else is going to do it, right? You know, so maybe if some more journalists with balls had the balls, the kind of balls that auditors had, then we would be in We're in a different situation right now. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, listen, in my opinion, this is actually what it states as well. Journalism is the activity of gathering, assessing, creating, and presenting news and information. It also the product. It is also the product of these activities. So again, journalism is gathering information, assessing it, creating something, and then presenting
could
it
say
is a form of journalism.
Auditing is
You
more
could
or
look at
less
a diary. If
what
you
a
write a
journalist
diary,
can
it's
do.
a form of journalism.
Yeah, it's what a journalist does, basically. Literally what they do.
Afternoon, pal.
Or what they should be doing anyway, or more of. We need more journalists speaking truth to power. That's what we need. And if we ain't gonna find any, right, then we're gonna have to go and do it ourselves. I mean, what else are we gonna do? If we want this corruption to be stamped out, and we can't find anybody to stamp it out, the only choice we have is for us to find it and expose it and stamp it out ourselves, because no one else is fucking doing it, right?
We see that with the Phillips Scope Field scandal recently that we've highlighted beginning of this. They ain't doing it. They're allowing it to go on while making you believe that they're out there exposing the corruption and bringing the news that's important to you.
By allowing this to continue, they created us. They created the need for the public, the members of the public, to stand up and do the job themselves. You know, if the government's not going to fucking govern the people properly, then we just need to replace that fucking government with a government that will do the job properly, right? A police force that will do the job, police the police properly. You know, we just need to get rid of the fucking criminals that fucking make this whole fucking mess to begin with. We just need to stamp them out and put them in jail, man. I mean, the crimes they've committed just in the past few years alone, it should be enough to put most of these fuckers behind bars for many years. Do you know what I mean? Let's start there and mind the rest of the shit that they've been up to.
You know what, as well, like, I want people to lose that mindset of, like, that if you get your camera out on something that you're auditing something. Let's remember, auditors was just a name that originated from the US again, right? And I think some people, I'm not an auditor, so I don't do that. No, remember that. And that's the only thing I really look to really do. As good as it is to highlight things and bring things to people's attention. The only thing I really hope to get out of this is people that watching that the message really is that if you're unsure about anything, if you don't trust something, if something don't seem right to you, then you have the right to whip your phone out. You have the right to whip a dictaphone out or whatever and record your interactions with your government, with the authorities, with the establishment. Yeah. That's for me all it's about. Like, you see something, don't think that you don't have the right to then stand there and document something. And then if you want to, speak openly about it. Because yes, you're right. That's your right. We have that right here in the Western world, apparently. Certainly in countries like here and America, we have freedom of press. It might be worded slightly differently here in the UK, but the principle's the same. We do have freedom of press. You do have the right to go out and document something and then publish it. You haven't got to be educated. You haven't got to be an educated person. You don't have to come back from a really to-do background where you've been to university and all these things. Now, your rights aren't any less just because, you know, you might not be as educated as someone else, or you might sit there with a little bit less in the bank than someone else. You have a right as a human being to speak out and in a way take control of your own destiny, man, rather than let these fuckers tell you what your destiny is.
Exactly.
Your own destiny. Don't do what these people are fucking saying. Question everything. Question the narrative. Even if the narrative's right, question it, because it might not be. You know what I mean? And question it, man. It's not a bad thing to question things. It really isn't.
No, and be stubborn about it. You know, being stubborn is not a bad thing. I don't know why people have this illusion that being stubborn is a bad thing. You know, my gran used to say to me, stubborn people shape this world, right? And I believed her. So if you want to shape this world, you have to be a little bit more stubborn than you are right now, and a little bit less compliant. You need to stand up and say, nah, you know, I ain't going to do the self cash out, checkout. I'm going to go and I'm not going to go to Sainsbury's. I'm going to go to the local store. I'm not going to go to the fucking Amazon. I'm going to go to a fucking local business.
What's the other thing that they do within the narrative, Mellows? What's the thing within the narrative, people? Yeah? All these divides. Earlier, you heard Mellows say it. Black, white, fat, skinny, Jew, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, fucking, and all the rest in between.
Fucking imagine. Divide and conquer.
Labeled, all in order to keep us all divided.
See, if we can't unify behind one common value, one common voice, and say no, then they've won.
It's not that, right? Someone said to me, and I always, even now, James Winston, I think his name is, from America. Black guy that used to come on the channel. Don't see much of him anymore. But anyway, he used to say something that always has stuck with me. And that's that while everyone's around arguing their differences between each other, right? If everyone stopped to realize that actually we share so many more similarities than we do differences.
Like we want to live, right?
No, but we do, right? We've got a lot of differences, all of us. We're all different. That's what makes us all unique. But at the same time, we actually share far more similarities with each other than we do the other way around.
Well, we've got more similarities with each other than we have with fucking these reptiles in control of everything. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because whether they're reptiles, really let reptiles, like David Icke says, like lizards and shit, or whether they're just reptiles, are just inhumane fucking psychopathic parasites, pathetic excuse for a human species that they are. Whichever way you want to look at it, they're completely foreign and alien and detached to the rest of us, right? They have absolutely no idea of what reality is like for the rest of us. For them, it's just a perception. And they think that we love them, right? Because
I said this the other day, Bellows. We had the fucking, what's his name? Rishi Sunak, right, on telly, trying to say how he's with the people and how he understands the cost of living, the rise of living, and come on, man, he don't understand none of that. He never has, never will.
Do you remember that hypocrite that fucking French dude when he took his watch off? It's the same shit. Same hypocrite. Same deal. Different country. Different fucking wanker. Right? He took his watch off in the middle of an interview. In the middle of an interview, he took his watch off. Do you remember that 80-gram watch?
Yeah. Even that took his 80-gram watch off while he sat there. Who was that? What's his face?
Macron.
Yeah, Macron. Fucking what?
While he was telling everybody how they all got to tighten their belts and shit, right? These guys like
he's got their sliding right in front of everyone's eyes. But this is how brazen they are. They're like, these fucking idiots. I do it right in front of their eyes. No one will notice.
I don't give a fuck. Well, they did the same thing at the G7 summit. Remember, everyone was supposed to keep their distance and have the masks and whatever, and they did a little photo shoot with everybody doing their distance, where they were like chess pieces on a board, all standing in separate apart. And then 5 minutes later, they're all fucking masks off, hugging each other, and having a party, right? Touching everyone and shit. Hypocrites. For the TV, for the propaganda, for the fucking rest of us dickheads who are going to sit there and watch BBC and listen to that crap. They're going to show us the G, and they're all standing apart, and they took a photo shoot, and then 5 minutes later they're fucking hugging each other and spitting in each other's drinks.
I know, right?
And meanwhile, that day, a young woman died of no suspicious circumstances. She just died. We're not going to investigate it because this is just, I don't know, there's just, case closed. Shush. These are not the droids you're looking for. We don't know how she died, but it wasn't suspicious.
Imagine it.
What? They're good at that, aren't they? Because they've got the BBC there controlling what fucking people are thinking and shit, right? They ain't got me and you saying, hang on a minute. You know, I see that fucking, what? You know? They can't control people like me and you. That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of how dare we who have no power, no, none of this, and we dare to stand up to these people. You damn fucking straight I will.
Damn right.
That's what they're afraid of. Little people like me and you standing up to them. You know? Because me and you alone, you know, you might not be able to get through their security, you know, their little onion layers of protection that they've got around them. They're puppets of politicians and corrupt judges and everything they got dangling in their pockets at any time they want. No. We think we're stupid. We think we're all stupid. We can't see the game that they play. The 5D chess game they're playing all around the world. It's a global problem, man. This is not just this country. If the last few years alone hasn't proved that point, this is a global problem, and a handful of people are deciding the fate of all of us. And they've just decided that we're just not worth it anymore. And I don't agree with that decision.
Yeah. Agree, they hate it. They do hate it. Take care, Chris. But yeah, it's a crazy old fucking world, mate, isn't it?
Of course it is.
It's
designed that way. Perfectly
not a lot,
that way.
mate. It's not a lot. I don't know what it works out at, mate. Not a lot. You'd have to go and ask a more successful channel, bro. To be honest. You'd have to go and ask one of the ones that make the big bucks, bro.
It's not your subscribers, it's the views. It pays per views, and it pays per view depending on the kind of content. So if you've got content, advertiser-friendly content, and lots of views, you'll get paid much more than you would if
That's
you get.
what I mean, yeah, all different. It's all different. It is all different. Depends on the content. Depends on.
You're swearing a lot. If you're saying key like buzzwords like we have been doing, you know, good luck with that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot. I don't know. No, mate.
And then also they pay you differently from different countries. So you know, if you're in the US, I think they pay the most. If the viewers are in the US, if they're based in different countries, like in Asia, for instance, they pay far less for viewers coming from that geographic location for some reason.
Yeah.
So it basically means people from the Philippines, and they've got some awesome channels. I don't know if you guys have ever watched some of those. They're some of the best bushcraft channels that I've seen, right? Those little Chinese, Asian guys, wherever they are, do you know what I mean? They bushcraft. Some of the channels are awesome. And
yeah, we've watched that again in Jitsi, haven't we? Some mad stuff they build there.
And the views they get, right? They would probably get they don't get as much as you would get for the same sort of views from viewers from the UK, for instance, or the US. So they might get, for the same views that you get, they'll get half the money that they give you, sort of thing. So wherever you go, the same story goes. YouTube is rinsing it. YouTube is just milking it and ripping everyone off. And some of these channels that are actually getting shadow banned are actually getting a lot more views than they're saying, because they're not paying, and they're demonetizing where they shouldn't have demonetized, and they're just being mafia about it. They're just doing whatever they want. There's nothing you could say and do. You're going to complain to? Go and complain. Go on.
But yeah, man. I think I'm going to wrap this one up.
Right,
been going nearly 4 hours. Covered the Philip thing, man. Like I say, turn off your TVs, man. Stop if you watch TV. Stop. It's fucking disgusting, seedy, and fucking
make your own TV.
Still going on today. Yeah, exactly. Make your own shit, watch your own shit, create your own shit, research your own shit, and remember, question everything. I think it's the best way to leave this on. I want to say big up to everyone who's joined Outlaw King, express.org, Jay, Gregory. Let's have a look. Gregory become a member of the channel today, so big up, Gregory. Thanks for that, mate. I do appreciate you becoming a member. Everyone else as well. There's loads of you. Emily, Outlaw King, Jay, Tim Smith, John, Jim, sorry, Chris, John Wright, Resist Dystopia.
Yeah, come over to Jitsi.
Loads of you guys. Anyone wants to come over to Jitsi? Yeah, come over to Jitsi. What am I doing about that?
What do you want to do about it? You want to email you, and we'll email them a link, or you want to put it out on the live panel?
Make another room and put that out.
I can make another room, yeah, I suppose. Can we
Put
do that
another.
now?
Yeah, you can do that. Make a room.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I delete it?
You can't delete it. You just make it again. What was it called?
New room, maybe.
Yeah, just do a new room.
Whatever. All welcome. Just make one.
Yeah.
Make one, Metlos. Make one now, and then we can put it
Go
in
on,
the
do
chat.
it. Just make sure you got it right, so we know you know how to do it.
What you want me to do?
Yeah, do it and put the link in the chat.
Hang on.
See if you get it.
Shit. What am I doing? Oh, I don't have the link, bro.
Right, let me do it. Let me do it. What do you want to call it?
Direct room.
All welcome.
Or welcome, man, or public room, or whatever. Anything that sounds welcoming rather than people thinking it's a secret. Like,
Hang on, I'm just creating it now. 1 second. Here's the link. I'll put it in the private here. For some reason, StreamYard's not letting me post in the chat. Yeah, I have to go on.
And it's not something you need to have, by the way. It's not an app or anything like that. It's literally like a link. Bit like StreamYard. Give you a link.
Browser, log in.
And it will just take you to that room where we'll be when we shut this down. It won't be live. It will just be us chilling.
You will need a camera and mic to be able to communicate. You don't have to have your camera on.
No,
just,
obviously, yeah.
I'll put the link in the private chat because I can't post in the comments.
Well, you just put it there, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in there now.
Mellows is in there now. Anyone wants to go over there. But yeah, big up all yourselves, honestly. And yeah, again, just say thank you to everyone. Like I say, 2-year mark, man. 10 million views. 10 million views on the channel. Big up, guys. Thanks to all of you lots. Without you guys, what's the point, eh? So I do appreciate the support. And yeah, guys, take care, and I'll see you all on the next one, yeah? Much love. Peace out,
Okay, guys.
Joining, yeah.
Thank you to everyone. Bye-bye.